サトル、久しいね。
拍摄，我去拿个水喝。
サトル、久しいね。
哎呀，这个没有对掉。哎呀，嗨，爱龙喵，晚上好，叶枫晚上好，感谢挂台。 头像没了。你是第2次被头像被抢掉欸，好像第2次吧，还是第3次？有点惨哦。看一下。Yo, what's up, Josh? What's up? What's up? What's up? OK， 没问题。很香欸，这件衣服。它这个衣服它有2个颜色，一个是黑色，一个是红色。然后我是觉得，反正我的眼珠是红色嘛，那我就干脆穿红色的。然后如果我是换黑色发型的话，我才穿黑色的。好香哦！它其实那个胸部边边啊，其实是更露的，就因为它有做根据退取的那个 TOS， 所以它那个可以调整，就是胸部可以更开，或者是更隐秘这样子。我是跟他那个穿更隐秘啊，我怕被 ban。Not much. Sorry, it's been a while. Just looking today, cause studying, but have a good stream. Nice. Appreciate that. Thank you. Studying, huh? What are you studying though? Like, 哎，我不知道玩什么那个单人游戏哦，那个鬼怪我不知道怎么躲干，等一下我看一下。Excuse me. What should I do? 啊，其实这个可以玩啊。我跟这个会师其实一口气买了多少件啊？1、2、3，我买了几件啊？等一下，我好像买了4件吗？我好像跟他买了4件是这个只是其中1件而已啊。我刚才一次过跟他买，我买多少件啊？购买的商品啊，我自己看好了，1、2、3、4、5，我跟他买了5件一口气，我跟他买了一口气，买了5件呢，这只是其中1件。Technical skill to help get the job, cause turn out even with the qualification, secure job market, it's a pit of misery. Oh yeah. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, that's kind of like really difficult nowadays for sure. For sure, honestly. I can understand that. Yeah. True. So true. I finally moved to a bigger city, so that's a small win at least. Wow. That's really a good news. That's really good news, to be honest. That's really a good news. Here? Oh. Oh, sorry. Sorry. 这汉堡不卫生了。It's not clean anymore, but okay. Bro. Wait, how am I? Oh, wait. Oh, okay. 等一下，这很不卫生欸。OK。这是 demo。要干嘛？等一下啦，哦。等一下，为什么？嗨，玲玲，晚上好。啊，有點難啊。I know. Wait. Wait. Just wait. Come on. 哈？不夠熟？為什麼？整嘢食嘅係啊，但係我唔知佢點玩啊。三隻火係咩意思啊？咩意思咧？三隻火，我點知佢有冇三隻火啊？點睇啊？ 我唔係好明喎，係咪咁咧？唔知啱唔啱？誒啱喎，哦 ，OK， 啊，了解。哦，呢個 demo 嚟咯，睇好唔好玩，好玩我先買啊嘛。一隻火啊！我雪櫃咁樣開住應該冇乜問題啊。OK。啱喎。哦，OK。冇計啦，因為新手嚟啊，新手廚師啊，係啊，唔好意思。麵包準備先。仲有咩？都冇乜嘢，demo 好似都係有限嘅。我可以放喺度，3分熟、半熟、全熟。我第一个客人我们不知道，反正我1分熟还是什么的，我就给他了、1到4分钟，现在是放松模式，还好吧？这个游戏，那单人吗？单人哦 ，OK OK。哦，它是可以放在那个电脑的那个左下角的那种放置型，真的哦，你看这个，哦 ，OK， 可以这样子哦，但是不好意思，我开始头晕了。我开始晕了，这个游戏我不想卸载，我不行，我错了。第一人称让我好晕哦。我玩那个deadbydaylight的时候啊，其实也是有点晕的，但是没有很严重，所以还是可以玩。可是如果太严重的话，我就会快停了，因为我怕再玩下去，我真的是会，打不会打鼾。我还是不要乱来哈。唉，还好玩一个游戏，不要等下晕到。晕呢？不能啊。 那也是的，找不来了。晕啊！一开始有点，哇，不这样啊 ，shit， 是另外一个单人游戏。都没有反应的。No fuck。我的闹钟。那比较可爱。No. Wait, maybe this? 一隻唔知啊，類似即係單人遊戲嚟㗎，佢叫咩名啊？Moonlight Pigs，吸血鬼啊，吸血鬼嚟㗎，係啊係啊係啊，唔戴眼鏡好啲。點解塊面呢佢要？哦，OK，可以改嘅。哼哼哼哼哼，哈哈哈哈哈，哈哈哈！小黑剑，哈哈哈哈哈。抱歉，他声音好像太小欸。这样子好像完全没有声音啊，为什么？离家出走。调不到设定了，现在。小黑剑向你问好。小黑剑。 哈哈哈哈哈哈！小 A 键，哎呦，好拽哦，这只猫。声音确实有点小啊。OK， 要干嘛？所以我现在要干嘛 ？tap。认识居民哦。可以直接进人家家吗？地上亮亮的是什么啊？ 有什么用嘞？能干嘛？那会有木头吗？哦，是要按着。哦，OK。我觉得单人游戏很容易让人想打瞌睡耶，怎么办？啊，我这样子玩一下我就想睡觉了，很催眠耶。为什么我以前可以玩单人游戏玩一整天呢？哎呦，现在玩不到，一下子就，天哪，很催眠。太安静了。那我要去哪里找人啊？这里会有人吗？我在哪？我在这里哦。这里真的会有人哦。对劲吧？太安静了，而且他们的音乐都很催眠呢，可是听起来好像很那个的休闲哦。哎呦，我其实应该玩 DBD 了，可能还可以高血压一下。这个是哪里呀？不理解，我根本就没有看到人啊！什么意思？我可以直接传送回家吗？正厅哦，正厅会直接传送吗？不行吗？叫我的小天堂在哪里呀？嗯，天哪，是在哪里呀？这个吗？也不是哎。哦，这里，所以这里直接走，这样可以耶。对，这里可以。 啊，对，这里没错，来，这里有一个人。这游戏好像可以跟 NPC 谈恋爱。我靠！打瞌睡了，哎呀，完蛋了，游戏怎么这样？这很难看欸，为什么不能按掉？为什么上不去啊？ 靠呗，你真的玩得下去吗 ？Oh my god！ 啊！哦，哦，有比赛哎！啊，有比赛！干了！啊，完了！
Or at the main building. You don't want to be playing fillers in your first chase, as Pedro already at the water tower looking for a first survivor. Standard build of full regression here for him. And he's looking around for survivors in the corrupt intervention area. Finds somebody stealthing at a filler pallet, and he's immediately going to be threatening a hit at this pallet onto Noah. His flashlight coming in there from Zaka, possibly baiting a hit, and it looks like Zaka's actually going to take an M1 for his sins there, but Pedro actually really wants the bound here. Gonna get the throw with the Jewel Beetle onto Zaka. Zaka in danger of going down instantly now. Only has a 4-lane window to play. Somebody nearby possibly going for altruism, and yes, that's going to be Noah getting in between Zaka and the killer, taking a first protection hit. There's a very bad situation initially for Team Elysium, but Noah able to stop that from being an early first down. Now bounds onto Doc, and he's going to just slide past that there. Near miss from Pedro, and he's now distance away from those injured survivors.
Pedro's doing it again. He has 2 infections already. 30 seconds into the trial, and that is altruism gone wrong. Getting the throw with the Jewel Beetle there, and Noah has to be there as well to make up for it. Now Zaka on this jungle gym just decides to drop it, but Pedro willing to outplay. We do see the double back. The vault comes through. Zaka can still play the pallet here. Pedro with the double back again. Nice mind game. Can we convert the power? Good check spots by Zaka. Of course he wants Pedro to break it, but beautiful outplay by Pedro, getting the down onto Zaka. Noah still injured, still infected. Fantastic start for the Invictus killer player.
Would have loved to see the killer POV of that, as Pedro making a statement on that dropped jungle gym in the first chase. Zaka going to be hooked up as Noah afraid to spray here, injured at the shack. Going to be getting rid of that full infection as Pedro, I would imagine, going to be looking to put that Pop Goes the Weasel and Eruption on the middle gen. Knows that Noah is down by the shack, so Pedro finding the scratch marks now towards this tile in the middle of the map by the water tower. This is a pallet gym. Pedro sees Noah in the distance, but choosing not to commit. Now finding healthy scratch marks near the same pallet gym, but it doesn't look like Pedro wants to commit to a chase.
Pedro sees Noah on the shack, but does not commit again. I think he could have just zoned him there. Instead, goes back to defend his high focus generator as well as his hook onto Zaka. Right now returns
it's
to
their
the
background.
hook. Zaka, this generator still regressing, and it's so costly for Team Elysium right now that this hook came in before the first generator popping. Pedro was able to get Pain Res, pop goes the Weasel and Eruption on the generator, and now he can just camp Zaka to the second stage, and if Pedro HC is not careful, he might get thrown edge map. He realizes that and still gets tagged by Pedro. Beautiful use of the power. Has the snake tile to play, and we're leaving that as fast as possible. Unhook onto Zaka comes through, and this is the time where you want to tumble.
What is
Zaka
going on?
Now in Pedro's sights.
I don't think I play anything. Is the video? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the video. Nothing though.
Round to the main building window once again. Pedro forced to break the door.
About to eat some dinner. Good for you.
Towards the middle of the map. Zaka
Enjoy your food.
Here as that infection is ticking up. Now has an eye filler, almost impossible to play for Wesker.
Enjoy your food.
Hindered here very soon, and he's gonna miss the swing. Pedro
nice.
Falls for the fake, and another survivor coming in now, but Zaka going to be slammed up against the wall, and that's a tunnel out at 4 generators for Pedro.
And you still have a slug on the floor as well. Pedro, of course, saw Pedro HZ entering the locker there. But if the injured survivor has to play for the tunnel out, you know you are in trouble. Noah is able to complete his generator, taking us down to 3 gens remaining. But this is just way too early. You have everybody injured on the map, and this is the first recorded instance of a short swing connecting on 12 MS. Swings through the pallet and somehow
it's Pedro playing Wesker, of course.
Pedro HZ got reset in the distance. Has to spray though, so Pedro knows that he has so much time. Hooks on the only active generator, and it's all falling apart for Team Elysium.
Pedro so far ahead here that he's ignoring the pain res. As 3 stacks still remaining, Pedro HZ needs to get rid of that infection. And I want to talk for a little bit, Emmy, about why Pedro was so happy to camp that hook on Zaka. He was able to get that down so quickly that a doubled generator in the middle of the map was not completed in time. He got the hook on Zaka in view of that generator. So much efficiency bought for him there, and that's why he was able to get the tunnel out.
Someone's talking in the background, but
running down
who are
towards
they?
the shack. Pedro content to continue tunneling
The
with 3 gens
audience?
he's going to actually go ahead of Noah with the bound, intentionally missing and blocking off that shack pallet. Not going to quite have the distance for the M1 now. Pedro now moonwalking on the shack back towards the backside, and now Noah forced to play the 4 lane. He does have the pallet and the window, but doesn't want to be caught at this 4 lane forever. Now over towards this snake gym, behind the tree, going to be dodging. Pedro's bound there, but he's still forced to play one of these jungle gyms. Goes for the, he hits it over the window, even with the fast vault from Noah. I mean, that was an impressive fast vault, but Pedro still connects.
Noah is getting scammed. What is happening here? All of a sudden, Pedro is connecting every swing. 1 generator pops, but Noah goes back on the hook, and this is going to be the pain res. And one cute play that I want to point out there, Pedro HZ went for the pull, fully infected, and sprayed on top of Noah's hook just before unhooking to deny that information for as long as possible. Very, very good play. And yeah, Noah having a decent chase, but just not enough. Pedro HZ is going to get interrupted yet again. Pop on this generator one more time, and Pedro tries again to get another poker hit onto Pedro HZ, but this Adam is confident. Pedro might go for the tunnel out here. Does he want more freshes? Does he want Pedro HZ? He's trying to swing through it again. Camp trap coming down. Pedro happily breaking. Noah needs to get reset, or he needs to disappear from the map. But it seems like Pedro is almost having fun with it right now.
Yeah, and Pedro needs to be careful here. These teams,
wow.
Oh, what a bound around the side of the pallet. Pedro HZ not going to hit anything there, but it will still confirm an M1 as the Jewel Beetle kind of hurting Pedro a little bit there, but that's the chance that you take when you bring that add-on. That would have been an instant down if it connected. Second set of bounds coming out now. Pedro, not enough distance though to get the hit on the window. Tries to skinny Bert it through those boxes. Not gonna land though. Pedro HZ makes it back around to the window. Now to the tank tread pallet. Gonna be throwing that up, and now bounce coming out once again. 50-50 here, and it looks like the slam gonna come in onto Pedro HZ. Third fresh hook now for Pedro. And now, I mean, Team Elysium, they need to work on getting down to a 4K1 here. That has to be their goal.
Well, they need to make the best out of a horrible situation, right? They somehow need to salvage this, because this is not.
Yeah, I think I know who is talking.
Right now. Doc kind of gets caught out. Are we going to connect? Oh my goodness.
I heard Nightlight, which was their leader.
For the hack take there, unfortunately, does not quite get it. Doc needs to win a couple
I
of
was like, what the
on this drop
fuck
filler,
is
but
talking?
Pedro swings and connects again. We're sending it over to the shack, but we do have the power to follow up. And Pedro does not get the 2-tap. Nice dodge by Doc there. Noah unhooking Pedro HZ off in the distance, but this should be another fresh hook secured onto Doc. And that generator just does not get completed yet again. We're greeting the pain res, saving it for later. Pedro is just so confident in his killer gameplay right now.
Pedro, he has such a good idea of what progress on the map, and that's why he's greeted the pain res twice in a row now. Noah gonna be getting the unhook onto Doc. Pedro with 4 fresh hooks now, reapplying that Pop Goes the Weasel and Eruption onto that jungle gym. And he's sitting in such a good spot here now, searching for that survivor. It's going to be Pedro HZ needing to stealth here by the main building. Pedro now over towards back to the middle of the map now, trying to maybe find Doc as he sprays,
Oh,
or maybe going for a
maybe
kill onto
it's
Noah.
not.
It's not really a bad
Oh,
chase now
okay.
for
That's
Pedro, still
maybe
with 2
it's
gens remaining.
the
But his
voice
goal
of
here for
the other
Team Invictus is
team
going to be to try to lock up this
or
4K2.
something.
He finds both Noah and Doc. Doc drops the pallet already. Pedro trying to outplay.
That's really
Unready's the
loud.
power here again. We're trying to win 50s. Doc wins 1, wins 2. He loses, wins
Oh,
the third one
no.
actually. Still living, vaults the pallet again, vaults back, and he just keeps vaulting. Unfortunately, finally goes down. Eruption hitting Pedro HZ's gen. And now, of course, the pain resonance right here for Pedro to take. And are we going to see a 4K2 again for Pedro? He did it yesterday versus Eclipse. Is he going to do it against Elysium? Noah gets found on the pull.
Pedro turning around to break that pallet, maybe suspicious of Noah going for the pull, and he's gonna go for the throw edge map, but it's not gonna work. Didn't wait long enough for that animation to finish, so it's gonna be a slap instead of a throw. Now, Pedro has to change his game plan if he wants to keep this 4K2 back now towards where Pedro HZ has been working in the main building area. Sees that Adam pre-leaving, knows that he needs to put the Pop Goes the Weasel back down once again. And now I believe if you're Pedro, you go find the reset. Do not let those survivors spray and try to confirm your second kill.
The scary thing in my opinion is I don't even think Pedro needs a 4K2. He just wants it because he's in such a strong position. He knows he has full control over this game right now, and he wants to close it out with a bang, get that mental edge, show Elysium what Invictus has been preparing for. We have 2 generators quite high on the map. Eruption has been applied on both of them. We saw the rotation by Doc, Noah getting the spray, but Pedro needs a down. If we don't get the down fast here, we might see another generator popping, but Pedro HZ on the edge map, he unfortunately cannot last, goes down, the cracker does not help, and Pedro decides to slug. He really wants that 4K2.
He does not see value in a non-pain res hook onto Pedro HZ that doesn't confirm a kill either. Really wants that 4K2. Is the reason why he was able to get that down there is because Pedro actually approached from the middle of the map, cutting off where Pedro HZ had been pre-running before. So really smart play there from him, and now he's going to have an injured survivor at a filler pallet here, channeling up the bound, going for it around the side, not making it around the rock though, as Noah will make this pallet. Pedro needs to win one more mind game here to confirm this kill onto Noah, but Noah gets the stun, gonna make it away from the pallet into one of these tiles, and now Pedro gonna be forced to leave lest he lose both of these generators here as Pedro HZ is picked up in the distance.
Huge smash hit value from Noah there. Pedro swinging from the edge map, giving Noah the map. Head-on coming through by Pedro HZ. And Pedro wants revenge. Double vault, not falling for that one. Pedro is on top and gets the down onto Pedro HZ. This time we hook. We're gonna get our pop goes to Weasel again. Noah trying desperately to somehow pop that gen off in the distance, and he is able to. Generator pops. We're going down to 1 generator left. We saw Doc in the main building hovering for the pull. Still fully infected. Is Pedro aware of his location? Yes, he is. Just spotted out the ace in the corner of his view there. But in this situation, again, Pedro kinda can just cap, right? The hook is on the active generator. Both survivors are injured. They cannot meet up. And Doc is hindered. He does have the balanced landing. Does he make it all the way up? Pedro uses the power again, confirms the down onto Doc. And this is going to be Elysium going into the 2v1.
Yeah, Pedro now confirming this kill onto Doc, and it looks like it is less and less likely that these survivors are going to complete the final generator. Honestly, a good salvage from Team Elysium there, though, with such an early kill onto Zaka. Getting down to a 4K1, I would say that that's a very well played performance there for Team Elysium. Able to make sure that this is a win condition that actually exists for their killer player, as now Pedro HZ on the Snake Gym puts down the chemical trap. Not going to want to break that is Pedro, as he's back around the side, greeting the pallet once again. Not going for the vault there, calls out the mind game, but he should be going down now. Pedro HZ downed near the Snake Gym, and Repressed Alliance goes down on Noah's generator. I don't think it's going to matter though, as Pedro locking up a 4K1 on his killer selection as well. Invictus
Nice.
with all of the momentum going into
How are you
Zaka's
today?
performance
Oh my, Pedro's really
Nothing
feeling
much,
himself. You could see him
actually.
having fun
We're
with
chilling.
his favorite killer on the cold tower. 4K1, well above average against Elysium.
Out for food also.
If we compare
For
the
dinner.
survivor side from Invictus,
Yeah, I
Team
mean,
Eclipse's match,
it's
they did
chilling
really, really
everything.
well. I don't think they got 4K
And also kind of
twos, they
bored.
didn't get 4K 3'd, they got outs instead.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Wow,
Yeah.
what a performance, what a fun
Nice.
match to watch.
Yeah,
There's
Mastermind
someone
is
already
always
have
such a good
crushed
tournament
out. You
to
can
watch,
see
right?
from their
Especially
face.
when
Look.
you've got some of the best players in the world going at
They
it.
already
And
have crushed out.
how do you even approach this as Zaka, right? With a 4K2 win condition on the Mastermind, we've seen it done before, but never at this tournament.
Rocket
Going
is
up against the survivors
so
of Invictus,
chill.
we have to see the Jewel Beetle, right? That's the add-on that needs to come out to shorten these chase times. But if your team Invictus, you know how to play against it, right? You can't exactly be caught out in the open. You need to hug objects, make it hard for those throws to come in.
And we saw Zaka
This-
doing something very
the
early
team
in the first chase.
I've
Noah was
been
caught out of
watching,
position,
they
and
won
Zaka
the
was
match.
trying to help his teammates, feeling the pressure, thinking, hey,
yeah.
I need to help Noah, I need to put on a great performance here, I need to carry my survivor side. And it backfired, right? We got 2 injuries, 2 infections super early into the trial. And I think it could have been more effective, more
yeah, that
efficient
guy.
to just have Noah play his
That
chase
pet
there and
roll.
not take the extra injury, right? Because the down still
He
came in
main
pretty
killer,
quickly. So
and
I'm
he
very curious
also
if that's a little bit of nerves maybe shown
kind of
for
good
Zaka,
with
feeling the pressure to
Matt
carry his
Wesker.
team.
So
Yeah, and I think we were talking about it just before we loaded into the match. Like, with a first chase
what
against
the
Wesker
fuck?
here,
Someone
you
literally
cannot
just
be
lie
found
down like
playing a
that?
weak filler palette first. These first chases must be long on the survivor side. And immediately as we load in, 2 survivors get caught near a weak filler palette.
Yeah,
in the middle
pet
of the map.
roll.
And I mean, it's the correct comm from Zaka that, hey, we can't give a down
He
this fast to a Wesker.
and
But at
Nightlight
the
was.
end of the day, one
Each
thing
of them
goes wrong,
have
then
their
more things
own
start to
main
spiral out of
killer.
control. Even though he was able to save Noah, still that first mistake, getting caught out in the middle of the map, that leads to the tunnel out.
Yeah. We also can inform you on what was happening at the start of the Mastermind game. Why did Pedro not move?
He's
Did
only
we
20,
win?
you
Is
know.
there going to be a
Pet roll.
penalty? It was just a keyboard
The
issue
killer who
that
won
has
the
been
match.
fixed now, so
He's
no
only
remake,
20.
no penalty, no further restart, I'm pretty sure.
You know.
You pointed it out.
But
First chase
he's
can't
yeah.
help on can't happen on an unsafe filler, right? Nice stealth attempt by Noah, not rocking the very bright David outfit that we've been seeing over the last couple days, but still gets caught out of position. And if you're Invictus, you're feeling very, very confident with the result that you just got from your captain, from your killer player, and you know what to do. You play your tiles, you try to play main building, you try to make it to Shaq, and then it's already looking so, so good for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, let's not forget, right? We are going to be giving out some awards after this grand finals. We do have a tournament MVP, a best killer, and best survivor to give out. And our staff have been hard at work debating on these things. So, and as you and I happen to be staff, who have you had your eye on so far for best killer?
Oh, it's so tough, right? Just because we've seen so much of Invictus, my eyes are on Invictus. And if you're just going for killer, you would have to give it to Pedro there. I know Zaka has been the backbone of his team, and he's been performing even on killer picks that kinda are outside of his wheelhouse, right? He was able to beat Team USA on the Nurse. But just because we've seen more of Invictus, I'm slightly biased towards Pedro right now, and this Mastermind performance might give you a little reminder as to what we've seen so far from him in this tournament.
Yeah, and then like taking it over to the survivor side as well. Obviously, we can't make a full decision until we've seen the result of the grand finals, but personally on the survivor side, I've had my eyes on Rocket. I think he's stepped up into big shoes to fill with Spitz there, who couldn't make it to this tournament, but Rocket has been lights out in his chases. He's usually a 1v1 player, but I think he's been adapting so well to this 4v1 environment, and some of his chases have been carrying Team Invictus to victory.
And what a different picture we're painting here, right? Imagine if you've only watched the day one, where a lot of people were like, oh my goodness,
Okay, now is
how
another
does
team.
Rocket get caught out there against the Oni, giving the win to Team Praxis and Invictus? only losing in the losers bracket, and now look at them. Everybody's so confident. Rocket in contention for MVP.
Getting
we
caught.
find our chase onto Pedro, who does not get thrown. Zaka gets attack here, even after the window wall, but Pedro sends it down the map.
Yep, and it looks like it's going to be Zaka leaving that chase, wants to get survivors off of that mid-gen. That mid-gen is such an important piece here for Zaka that he needs to hold on to if he's going to have any chance of a 4K2. Brutal Strength, replacing the Pop Goes the Weasel. I like that a lot as a Wesker player myself. The Brutal Strength synergizes so well with him, gives him extra chase power on this cold tower that can have so many strong fillers that Wesker just can't play. Now over towards the shack, he's going to be setting eruptions and needs to find a chase here, and it's going to be Pedro once again, the injured survivor, gonna have to give over that shack pallet. Pedro does it with no qualms as Zaka channeling those bounds once again. Pedro now playing a filler in the middle of the map, gonna hold W away from it, and he's gonna miss the bound there. Making the I filler is Pedro, and that is extremely important against Wesker. No cooldowns just yet for Zaka, and he's actually gonna greed it, going around the side, channeling the bounds now. Two of them up. This is such a hard hit to do, and Zaka converts onto it, and Pedro, what a flick there. I mean, the margin of error there was minuscule.
And we do see the same thing happening that we saw last game. We get the hook on the stacked generator. So Zaka getting the start that he desperately needed to bring it back for Team Elysium in this match. Now, unfortunately, we do not have Pop Goes the Weasel, which would have been really, really nice to apply here. We see in the distance Rocket has a gen ready to go, and Dan starting a new one, but Zaka probably wants to camp this right now. But Invictus knows that, so they're triple splitting. But Zaka knows that, so he knows he kind of can't camp. So I'm very curious to see what's going to happen. Eruption comes down onto this top side generator, but no unhook onto Pedro just yet. Is this just going to be second stage?
For the sake of Zaka, I would hope he gets the second stage here. It would be really interesting if Team Invictus were to send a double save in. But yeah, the Repressed Alliance there doing a lot of work. Would have done more work if Zaka actually had that Pop Goes the Weasel, but the Eruption delayed there. The regression here onto this gen. They need to get this save before second. Invictus knows exactly what they need to do. Clean double save there onto them, and he's going to hit the Endurance Survivor as well. Pedro going to be the tunnel out target here for Zaka. Needs to have the chase of his life, and that early pull is so important there for Team Invictus, as they were able to keep most of the progress on
most
that
of the
mid-gen.
killer will want to do that.
The hit tank takes it really, really early. Pedro not able to get a lot of meaningful distance. In fact, is he still stuck on this tile? Seems like Zaka has lost track of him. Just found him again though. Do we make the vault? Yes, we do. Zaka in hot pursuit, but we do have a filler to play for Pedro. Pallet being greeted, so much patience. It does finally come down. Brutal strength value. Ormond tile again for Pedro. Can we dodge the bound? Yes, we can. Pedro having such a good chase for his team here. Another gen popping. Dan Rocket still injured, but as long as this down does not come through right away, it's looking so good for Invictus. They do not have more bodies to throw altruistically, but this chase by Pedro is just so good, and not getting converted there on the armor gym might
They
just
already
be
finished
reset coming
3
through.
gens.
Another generator popping, and Invictus are in a great spot now.
Pedro hindered up now in chase as the third generator does fly by. Finally going to go down there with a little wave, out of resources to use. But Pedro putting his team on his back in that chase. And if Elysium wants to win this, Emmy, they cannot let another generator go. 4K1 is only the tie condition there, with the second hook onto Pedro. And just the incredible chase there from Pedro really destroyed that plan of keeping that mid-generator up.
Nightlight nearby for the unhook. We saw Dan on the shack generator, and if that one pops, it means the tie has been achieved. Zaka finds Rocket, who goes for the blind, but this means a free unhook coming through for Nightlight. Zaka returns to the hook. He really wants to get Pedro out of the game, but I think you just need your regression. You need your pain rush, because you don't have that Pop Goes the Weasel, right? The gen split is also not holdable. We do not have a 3 gen, and are we overcommitting onto the tunnel out here? We do find Pedro, but I think even if you get the down now, it's a little too late.
Yeah, it's definitely too late to get the win condition here, Emmy, but I think Zaka knows that if he's able to convert on this chase with Pedro, which I think he should be able to get that hit now. Not going for the swing, though, is Zaka. He can still play for 4K1 if he's able to kill Pedro here, and Pedro greets it again. Stun on the wrong side from Pedro. Are you kidding me? As Zaka pulling up the power once again, but these filler pallets are so tough to play as Wesker. Pedro connects it towards the pallet gym, but he's gonna get thrown into the wall. Finally, the tunnel out comes through onto Pedro with one generator remaining, and this is what Zaka is playing for now. He knows the win condition is impossible, but he wants to stall it out with the eruption in the 3v1.
But even in the 3v1, he needs a flawless trial right now, and we do 2 generators. We see 2 generators really far away. Rocket healthy, Dan healthy, Nightlight healthy. The legendary Eternal 3v1 rule. Go into the 3v1 healthy so that you can have lasting chases. Nightlight holding great distance against Zaka, but Zaka is just kicking generators right now. He needs to play this really slow. He needs to get injuries. He cannot overcommit, but he needs to commit at some point. So his best bet right now is just to get a jeweled beetle throw. And the Invictus survivors, of course, they know it, so they're gonna avoid that at all costs. Zaka still trying to find a Nightlight who is hovering in between these 2 tiles. But if you look at the HUD, the generators are flying, and that's 2 different generators. Zaka cannot hold this. He needs it down, and he needs it yesterday.
The movement, the communication from Nightlight there, and he finds Rocket in the locker. It's not going to be enough, though. The pain res is not close enough as Dan pops the final generator.
Oh,
Invictus
they popped
gonna
the
go up
gen,
2-0 in
dude.
this series in a very decisive factor.
They popped the
fashion, as
fucking
Pedro
5 gens.
continues to perform on the killer. Team Elysium just can't
Look at
stop
this
it.
dude, like,
Fantastic.
oh my god, what the fuck? He's standing there like, hey dude, I'm here. My god. Oh my god, they're gonna have crush out again. You know, they always have crush out against this team. Because they've been losing to this team a lot of times, you know?
Against the wall. Now we do want to point out again, it's not over.
Have like, you know, during some tournament or something, you know? They always have the crush out, like, yeah. Not even surprised.
Match wins total. Just as a reminder for you, Dan is going to get hooked. I think Rocket and Nightlight are going to leave the trial, and we're going to move on to the next set, which is the Nightmare.
Yeah, and Team Invictus here just continuing to play clinically on the Survivor side as we expect from them. And I don't think that's going to let up from them, Emmy. It's going to be on Elysium.
GG, I could say, yeah,
and Zaka
really,
to just dig deep, find something that he can do to throw off these Invictus guys.
And every single game, Invictus are just picking up more and more steam, right? They're getting away with everything. They're getting crazy result on the killer. Pedro somehow gets hits through pallets as well as the reverse stun onto Zaka. This guy is just on both ends of the good ping every single game, and he's somehow making it work at the LAN. So super impressive performance. And this was one thing I was scared of. I've been wearing the Elysium bracelet for the entirety of this LAN, but just because they have less practice, I'm afraid of them getting the better of themselves with the nerfs once they start losing. And they are losing right now. They need to pull a rabbit out of their head right now because they're down 2-0. And the next set is the Nightmare that we've seen great proficiency on already from Team Invictus.
Yeah, absolutely. They need to be able to do a mental reset here. We talked about before that they had not dropped a single set coming into this match, and now to lose 2 games in a row in front of the crowd in such a decisive fashion, it's got to be tough for them. And especially with Invictus having so much momentum. And, I mean, let's talk about Pedro once again, right? We've already been talking about his killer quite a bit. But have you also noticed that Pedro has been first chase or potential tunnel out in almost all of Team Invictus's games so far? He has been making magic on the Survivor side too.
Yeah, he's been having incredible individual chases, and even when he's not first chase, he's always there for the hit tank. He's so efficient on his pathing to the teammates, and just delaying every single tunnel out. We saw him going to stage 2 on Unknown yesterday, super early. The one bad chase that he may have had all tournament, right? Getting the 2-tap at the start of the game. And then you just can't get the tunnel out on the guy. And that's been a recurring theme for Team Invictus' Survivor side. Yeah, you get one person to stage 2, but you can't get them out of the game because the team is there, the individual
Rocket,
chase
my
prowess is
guy,
there,
bro. Like,
and then
you
making
literally using your
And
own
just look at these
picture,
stats from
dude.
Team
Like,
Invictus. Like,
Insane.
are you
bro.
kidding me? Nobody has more than one hook average
Oh
per game. 0.8,
my
0.8,
god,
0.7,
Rocket,
and
bro.
0.6 average hook chase
Oh,
for
damn
Pedro.
it.
As the survivor who's been in first
Bro,
chase the majority of the
what
time,
the
he has about half of a hook stage on average.
Oh,
That is just
man.
incredible from Team Invictus. Really does a lot to illustrate the exactly what Zaka is facing down here when he loads in on Killer.
And they're matching their incredible stats, right? They're even improving on those stats as well. One person I want to give an honorable mention to for the MVP debate, I think has to be Nightlight.
Of
I think
course he's
been
gonna
playing
be
a
so
great tournament, really
confident.
stepping up in the chase. Nightlight, he's been around the scene for so long. He's been,
He's
you
saying
know,
he's a
regarded as a
good-looking
specialty
guy.
killer. Yeah, he's great on the comms, but he doesn't really do special things in chase anymore, right? People are calling him Ankh, but I think he's been popping off this tournament. He's been such a rock for the team on Killer and for Survivor. So that's going to be my honorable mention for now on. Just great tournament for him.
No, I would agree. There's definitely a quiet strength there when you're not necessarily making every flashy play on Survivor, but when you're not showing up with any mistakes, that's also huge. Survivor's in the background, some of the most important things
They have
in a
pressure
competitive team. Someone that you can
already.
trust to be doing gens.
I
Somebody that
wonder
has been
which one
clutch,
is
getting in the way
Zaka.
when it matters the most, as we've seen
Who is
Nightlight
that
both
guy?
coordinating altruism and
Almost
still taking body
crying.
blocks himself. I think it really is a testament to how well he's been playing that we just have not seen mistakes from him.
But does that also mean we get to call Nightlight a role player? Because he's sitting in the back doing all the important things, but he's not really getting the spotlight on himself. So he's just playing his role, and he's playing it perfectly. And I think that deserves credit, right?
Yeah, and I think that's a perfect position to have for somebody who might need to step in and play Killer at any time. Maybe conserve his energy a little bit, but then you've got Pedro, who's been first chase almost every single game. So yeah, Team Invictus just playing so well so far. And I mean, what do you think Team Elysium needs to do here to, let's say, on the Survivor side? Like, how do they need to approach this? Obviously, starting with the first chase, right?
I touched on it before. They need to get the altruism under control. We've seen attempts at it in the Mastermind set.
They were
Unfortunately,
trolling,
they were a
dude.
little bit sloppy. They're all great players.
They were
They
chilling.
all have great ideas, and they do have great
Oh
matchups
my
in Zaka and
god.
Pedro HC, right? But it's just not clicking as effortlessly as it is for Team Invictus.
On the
So if
other
you can get
side,
good altruism
they are not
on
chilling
the Nana set,
anymore.
where it's so important to have a good fast chase, and where altruism can make or break
The
the entire set, that
right
could really give
side,
them the
it's
confidence
the team
boost
I've
in
been
that game
watching,
week.
so
And I
they
think
actually winning.
it's
You
coming
can tell.
down to the Zaka show. You're
You
gonna
can
need
tell
your
from the
star player.
reaction.
If Zaka gets in the zone, he's one of the best on both Survivor and Killer, and he's always been that way. He's had such a
And
long
yeah,
career,
you know,
and
this
he's
team,
always been at the very top. And players like
this
that,
two
they
team,
take the tough moments and they
they've been
step up.
they
And that's
already
what we
have
need
a
to see.
lot
Yeah, and I mean, to your
tournament
point about the
against each
altruism,
other.
once again, this might sound a little bit
And
counterintuitive,
most of the
but one of
time
most important
is the
things about
right
effective
team,
altruism
the
in a
right
competitive
the
game
right
scene
side.
is
That
actually
team
first
win
Survivor's chase.
most of the
Because
time.
as Killer,
So
if you get a really
yeah,
early hit and then a
yeah,
body
that's
block
yeah.
immediately comes in, you're more like,
Most of the
oh, this doesn't
time,
even
but
matter.
not every
I'll
time,
just
but
chase either
most
one
of
of
the
them,
time,
right?
yeah,
But
you could
if
say
that first
so.
Survivor has a very strong first chase, you're struggling to down them, and then at the
And
critical moment,
they
a
kind of
healthy
like
body block
have a
comes in
lot,
blocking a door, that is devastating. So
like
still,
they kind of
those
like
microplay chases on
get
Team
so
Elysium,
much
they just
championship
need to be better
from
here. That
different
amplifies everything else
tournaments.
that they
You
do in
know,
the trial.
That
the
is,
right
funnily
side.
enough, something I had the opportunity to talk about with someone from our wonderful crowd about. He was like, how is it possible that sometimes one
Yeah,
guy will
it's
have
like
a
practice.
super great
Also,
chase,
like,
they're
you
completely
know,
popping off, they're winning everything, and then someone else
teamwork,
walks
I
into the chase
guess.
and they're just two-tap. And of course, that is because once the survivor has
You can tell they
used up
actually
all their
like
resources for the first
also
phase,
friends.
they need help, right? Then the hit tank comes in, and then the hit tank does not necessarily have the resources to play. So even if the hit tank afterwards is going to be quote-unquote two-tap or having a worse chase, it's still extending
Yeah,
the
for
chase
sure they
by
have to
so
know the
much, and that is what
maps.
altruism is all about, right? In the end, it doesn't really matter who's the person who goes down first. It just matters that your total chase time gets
The
extended.
left side.
Yeah, absolutely. And it also
Someone
it
is
matters
yawning
more
now,
the more hook
like
stages are
yawning,
the
like
survivor in chase, because
getting
I know as
tired,
Joe, when survivors come in to take
or
a
I
body
don't
block,
know,
and I don't have any hook stages on anybody, that's
sleepy.
okay, right? And maybe if
They're
you're
not
in
even
S tier
talking.
set and you're worried that someone might have deliverance, then it matters a little bit more. But in most of these sets that we're going to be seeing here, any chase is a good chase. As a decisive strike, dead hard, they're not going to really be in play. So it really comes down to the areas that these hits are taken in. For example, a hit at the shack on the Dead Dog Saloon in the Cenobite set, that allows that tunnel out survivor to make main. And that's so much more important than somebody just getting in the way out in the open with nothing around.
Yep. Or the other way around, right? If we're hit tanking for the fresh hook survivor, and all of a sudden you're forced to switch your target onto the person who's worth less stages because the fresh hook made it all the way to safety. It's just so frustrating and can really mess with your mental. Zaka loading in on the Nightmare. We see Sloppy Butcher, Eruption, Pain Resonance, and Corrupt Intervention. We do see a potential first chase, but we're not interested. We want to control the gallows instead of playing the main building.
Yeah, and it looks like Nightlight in Zaka's sights here. We
We've
were
seen
just
this before.
talking about him being a quiet presence on the trial, but he's going to be in first chase now. Slept up there by that Dream Snare. Nightlight
That's
going
their
to be
team
easily making
team
that
leader.
front main window. Did already use the
Nightlight.
balance landing off the gallows. Zaka going to be going for a vault. Flicks there with the snare, but it's not going to connect. Nightlight making the window once again. Fakes the window, but it's not going to be enough, as Nightlight, an ill-advised fast vault there, going to be giving over a first hit to Zaka. Now takes the back main window, down the stairs, around the side of the main building, and he's actually going to be looping back around towards the front of the main building. Could this be a head-on perhaps here? As he goes past the lockers, nobody there just yet. It's going to be a body block instead. Pedro able to take that hit for Nightlight, and now Zaka going to be switching targets towards Pedro, forced to break the door there, so effective altruism in from Pedro.
Yeah, really interesting approach there from Zaka. We saw versus Team USA and Nightlight doing the exact same thing, having the balanced landing, always pressuring Gallows aggressively, and Zaka is saying, you know what, I'm not playing your game, I'm gonna chase you down aggressively, I'm gonna commit to main, but now Pedro, of course, are the one in chase. Great dodge on the Dream pallet. We do path beautifully, dodging the snare, getting the stun, dropping the pallet, and Pedro yet again with the banger chase for his team. We're far away from the main building. We do have a strong tile to play, good check spots, and is Zaka just leaving this?
Pedro playing with incredible confidence here as the pallet explosion going to just barely miss. Still in Zaka's sights is Pedro, and even though we started this chase with Nightlight, Pedro immediately getting involved with the altruism, and he will be the full first chase once again. Incredible confidence from Pedro so far today as he makes it back around the side of the Ormond tile. Going to be greeting it a little bit though and going down here, but not before two generators pop, Emmy, and this is yet another strong start for
Oh
Team
my
Invictus.
god, 2-gen.
The altruism is just so on point, right? Pedro is always there when he is needed. He is the head-on player as well. So the original intent was probably to set up for the head-on. Nightlight made the call, the snare hit me, you need to tank me, and Pedro is there
Oh my
immediately.
god.
Super beautiful display of the best we've seen from Invictus so far. Zaka does get a hook, does not get the pain resonance, and he's just setting up around this area, breaking a couple of pallets. Pedro is hooked on a pain res hook as far as I saw. No, but there are ample pain res opportunities in the area. Zaka just continuing the renovations, but of course Team Invictus have reset. They're rotating to get back onto the generators, and this is not a horrible start for Zaka, all things considered. The Nightmare set does tend to get a little bit grindy. Of course, on the land it's been way less of that, just because there have been fewer downs. Zaka happy to get a pretty free tag onto Dan and to return to his hook. Nobody here for the pull just yet, which lets us know that we're prioritizing gens right now. But this is still a great win for Zaka.
Yep, Saka looking like he's content to camp Pedro towards second stage here, but Invictus not wanting to get over that second stage. Rocket with a great unhook there onto Pedro. Maybe Zaka thinking that that unhook wasn't going to come in, and he's going to actually take the trade here, Emmy. I think that might be the game plan thrown off a little bit for him there. He didn't even use the pain resonance on Pedro before, so still 4 stacks of that remaining as the third generator pops. And that one that got hit can't have that much progress, Emmy, as I do wonder why Pedro was not used on pain resonance.
Yeah, perfect timing there. Zaka looks the other way and Rocket is able to sneak in and get the unhooked trade. No body block possible. Nightlight, of course, has just woken up, which means he's immune to all of Freddy's shenanigans, and Zaka is forced to leave this chase on main building. Now we're in the awkward position. Are we going to try and tunnel? Because tunneling has just been so impossible against the Invictus squad. Zaka does find Pedro on the water tower here. Actually, it's Rocket who drops the pallet and makes it back to the vault. Green pallet already down here, and Rocket just playing for his life.
Yep, Rocket here, he still has this pallet to play. Rocket gonna make that fast vault there on the window. Dream pallet did not connect, and he still has the upright pallet in this tile. Rocket gonna be dodging that hindered there. No, hindered up now, and he's got 2 dream pallets here, and yeah, Rocket out of resources, going to be going down. 2 hook stages on him now with 2 generators remaining. No pain resonance on Rocket, but Team Invictus playing slow, content to be waking themselves up here with the clocks. It looks like they've got about 50% progress on a generator with Pedro, and this is where things start to get rough for Team Invictus. They need to pull something out of their hat here to stop Rocket from getting tunneled out. So the teleport is going to come in onto that main building generator, possibly a kick being put down by Zaka as the teleport not ready here as Rocket is unhooked in the distance. Gonna give him some distance now as he's found around the corner. And this tunnel out, this is the most important part here for Zaka, the critical moment. As people at home always say, comp DBD, all it is tunneling. They tunnel every time, but not against a team like this. I say that, but Rocket, he somehow gets mind gamed by the Freddy teleport. Zaka, what an incredible play, confirming a tunnel out way faster than you would have thought.
Just in time for Zaka. Does he have the teleport back to interrupt the main building where Nightlight has been working away at the generator? Tunnel out, yes, but we saw the main gen being very, very high, so I wouldn't be too surprised if we're nearing an end game here. Pedro's generator pops in Zaka's face, and that means that the main generator is second to pop. Pedro goes down.
Oh my god. They did the fight Chen again.
Going on to the hook if we're Pedro, and Dan just opening the gate aggressively. Of course, he is injured right now and is up to Nightlight to make something happen. Rotating for the unhook onto his teammate, the fresh hook survivor. As always, what is Dan doing? In the main building, Zaka nearby, opening up the downstairs breakable wall, trying to mind game main building. Goes down the stairs. Does Dan fall for it? Bit of a mind game on the main building here. Dan, do you have the check spots? Are you aware? Yes, you are. Beautiful patience by Dan. The unhook onto Pedro comes through. Now we need to open the gate. We need to get the body block in position. And of course, who is here? I think it's Pedro. Yep, ready to die for his teammate. And Nightlight on the exit gate already.
Yep, Pedro put to sleep there. He's going to be going for the body block onto Dan. Door opened in the distance, but that's the one over on the other side of the map. Potential teleport fate coming in here. Dan now in trouble at the main building. He's going in front of a locker there. Zaka expecting a head-on. What does he even do here as he's trying to make Pedro pull the trigger? Is there nobody in there? Are you kidding me? Is Dan faking a locker? Or, okay, he's trying to keep him at this fence. Keep him in the map as that door on the other side of the main building isn't quite opened yet. Maybe playing for the end game timer here as Pedro not going to be able to reset very easily as he is still asleep. Nightlight going to be going into the sleep timer once again. Now they need to find some sort of creative way to get Dan out of here.
Do they want to have Nightlight open the gate and then Pedro's here for the head-on? Because he is here. Gets grabbed out of the locker. Where's Nightlight? Where's Dan going? Is the exit gate open? Oh my god, they're just too smart. Zaka realizes, and it's disaster. It's 6 stages too fresh. It's not disaster. They're just too fresh under these conditions.
Oh my
Very
god.
good result. But Zaka would have loved
This
to
is
get down there. The
crazy.
creativity from Team Invictus, the patience on the head-on. Zaka thinks they're locked in here with him, but no, Team Invictus locked in there with them.
Oh, you can tell from their
Beautiful play
face.
again from Team Invictus, even in the face of a Rocket leaving the trial early there. But is it really even an early exit from the trial when Team Invictus has this much gen efficiency?
They always just have one more generator than you would expect, don't they? You expect them to go for a reset, you see them staying injured, okay, are they double resetting? No, they just got another generator, and if they need the hit tank, they will be reset. So just the experience and game sense, game knowledge
5
that they
gens.
have to be this efficient
Again.
is so impressive. And orchestrating that play on a whim, under pressure at the land for the fresh hook to get him out of the gate, incredible.
Absolutely. And I mean, we're going to be going into the second side of the Nightmare set here, and it's most likely going to be Pedro playing that killer once again. He's been absolutely on fire today, and unable to be stopped so far, as the survivors of Team Elysium have just been falling in front of him. They need to get their altruism and coordination under control, but that's so hard to do when Pedro is ending these chases so quickly, almost as if we didn't expect killers to adapt this quickly to the LAN environment as Pedro has.
Yeah. And I'm afraid it's just going to have to be a solo performance, just because you need to be gen efficient, and that's been lacking. So we just need one absolute banger chase by one individual, while the other 3 just pump out 3 different generators for the first chase. That's unfortunately the only way I see right now, because everything else has not been working. But the lethality from Nightlight on the Nightmare has been so high. So I don't see it happening either. It's such a tough spot for Elysium, and I want them to take us to the next set here, but it's just not looking good for them.
Yeah, and I mean, it sounds a little bit boring to say, right? But like the bread and butter of competitive Dead by Daylight, whether you're at this event or whether you're playing at home in an amateur league with your friends, it's always coming back to that first chase.
And like, if your win condition for Team Invictus, for Team Elysium is, yeah, just do what Invictus just did, but do it better. And if Invictus have been doing this for like every set ever since they got into the lower bracket, you don't match that, unfortunately. And what a run that would be from Team Invictus, going 1-2, 2-0, 2-0, and then 3-0 into finals. But if they win this as a clean sweep, that'd be so impressive.
Yeah, but remember that Elysium does have the potential of the Joker set, able to replay one of those that they lost to Team Invictus. It's been a staple of DBD League tournaments. I mean, one of the most exciting things, the little reward that you get for going through the winner's bracket there, since Team Elysium has not dropped a full match since they arrived here, they're going to be able to look back at what they've played, kind of think about, okay, well, here's what we can fix while we're still here, doing triage on the stage. And that's what they're going to be selecting here if they do lose this Nightmare set.
And that's like the big advantage, right, that Invictus have had. They were able to figure out their mistakes so early in the tournament. They don't have to do it live on stage. They don't need to adapt on the spot. They've had so much time, and I hope that Elysium can do it, that they can find their composure again, that they can play calm, cool, and collected, take us to the next set, and get a win for themselves, because they really need one.
Yeah, and it rings true in the traditional sports as well, if you guys play those at home, as well as in esports. When you're down like this, it's so important to just treat every match that you load into like it's tied at 0, right? And I think that's what Elysium needs to do here as they face down Pedro on the Nightmare, this killer player that has just been on an absolute rampage this tournament, as Pedro tries to put his team on his back one more time and force that Joker set. Team Invictus, I mean, it's going to take something, like you said, a rabbit out of Elysium's hat. They need to dig deep, find something, anything they can do to throw Pedro off.
And it's really hard to do analysis right now, because Invictus have just been doing everything so well, right? There's not really a mistake that you can point towards, because the tunnel out was decently late, right? It was okay for both sides, but then the gen progress was perfect. They managed to make the best out of having the injuries that they have and got away with it with another fresh hook out of the door, right? So we're going to have Invictus take... oh, no, it's actually going to be after the Nightmare set. I thought they were taking a timeout right now. Very sorry about that. But yeah, of course, we can't just leave Zaka hanging, or like Team Elysium hanging in the air, right, when they just have to play Survivor. So of course we're going to finish the Nightmare set.
Yeah, in American football, we would call that icing the kicker, calling a timeout right before one player has to do a highly stressful thing. Don't want that in the middle of the Nightmare set. So there will be a 5-minute break after the Nightmare set, as we are loading into that very soon here with Pedro looking to send Elysium into that Joker set. I mean, they've been spiraling so far, and I think when we do get to that Joker set, if we do, what do you think Elysium would be looking to pick?
That's the tough thing, right? We talked about it when we saw picks and bans. Yeah, Doc said they got everything they wanted, but so did Invictus. So I think this might sound wild, but I think you run back the Mastermind. You have a good first chase, and that's how you get back in here. There is no good set to pick.
I'd have to agree with you there, yeah, but the Mastermind does have the potential to get those extremely fast chases if you're able to throw survivors towards the edge map and use that Jewel Beetle add-on. And we were talking about add-ons before without kind of an explanation of what they do on the screen. So we can take a little bit to explain it now for those at home who may not know the Mastermind. The Jewel Beetle, what it does is it shortens the dash and makes a throw happen much earlier. So it can result in 2 taps. As we are into the match now, it's actually Nightlight playing the Nightmare here for Team Invictus, possibly giving his teammate Pedro a rest. I mean, no less powerful here on the killer is Nightlight, making a case for himself to be that both roles player. First snare going to land there onto Pedro HC. He greeds that pallet. Nightlight falling for the greed there, now over towards the window, possibly holding out that dream pallet. Pedro HC now asleep as Nightlight channels the snare. Gonna get that hinder onto the Atom, keeping him at this poor pallet, and Pedro HC giving over the first hit.
Yeah, Nightlight on the Nightmare did so as well against Team USA, so one of these specialty killers that we talked about. Pedro, I was really liking the greed on that gym, but then unfortunately you're in a situation where you're greeting a super unsafe filler pallet. You do make it to the shack now. Pedro HZ drops it. Nightlight gets the snare, gets the slow onto the survivor, but we're just dropping. We're having sloppy butcher applied, and we're just looking for a new target. Zaka working the gallows, probably has that balanced landing. We're applying eruption. Nightlight decides to take it slow here. Do we find somebody else in the desert? Yes, we do. I think we spotted Noah off in the distance there, and Noah is asleep, so all of our abilities are going to be very, very effective. We do get an immediate tag, and remember, the shack pallet has been dropped, so Noah does not have very much safety to run towards. Has to make something happen with very little here. Has this pallet to play. Good patience, no smash at value just yet. Snare connected by Nightlight. He's been clinical with it, expects the vault back, but Noah with great patience paths all the way back to the water tower, and the first generator pops. Another pallet gets dropped, and we win another 50. That box placement on this loop, making it so much more awkward for the killer to play. Nice dodge on the snare, allowing us to make the fastball here as well. Another generator popping, and Noah popping up in chase, exactly what Team Elysium needed, and it's coming from the substitute player.
Noah not having any of what Mind Games Nightlight is doing here as he makes another jungle gym pallet. Gonna greed it, and I think that will be his death, but what a chase there from Noah. That is exactly what Team Elysium needs to get back into this game, as Nightlight coming in cold here on Killer to relieve Pedro, and I mean, that's not a good start for Team Invictus. Elysium possibly getting back into this game. They did get 2 gens for that first chase, but remember the win condition for Nightlight that was set before, 6 stages, 2 fresh. So Nightlight, his priority here, I believe, is going to be getting 3 fresh hooks.
And it's just what we were expecting. The individual hero chases coming through. Doc on the main building. Door already has been broken, but Doc luckily had the life available, so able to make it around the entirety of main building. Pull comes through onto Noah, And as you predicted, Nightlight committing onto the fresh hook here. Dog does not get the fast vault after the stagger. And Nightlight is just connecting every single dream snare. Do we get this hit? Yes, we do. Barely. Dog is on the pallet, but I think Nightlight is dragging him out of it, picking him out, putting him on the hook, and we might be going for a basement hook here.
The basement play is really interesting here. Nightlight betting on the fact that they're resetting, not needing the pain res, and he is absolutely correct. As Noah is reset in the distance, a pain resonance there wouldn't have done much. As Nightlight correctly makes that read, getting his second fresh hook onto Doc. It's going to be Pedro HZ into the basement, going for a early unhook. Now back towards the gen is Zaka, looking to get down towards 2 generators remaining. Should come in pretty easily here, but what is Nightlight doing on the killer side? Probably looking for another fresh hook in Zaka, and he immediately takes a hit there, punished for popping the gen near the killer. Great game sense from Nightlight as to who is where and working what. Zaka, balanced landing, now towards the main building. Gonna get hindered up there. Nightlight has been deadly accurate with these snares so far. Zaka needs to make this fast vault, will get it, and the swing misses from Nightlight. Zaka making that much more distance around the back of the main building now. Nightlight needs to be hitting these snares as the exhaustion is on Zaka. He's going to get hindered up there, and he's leaving Nightlight almost a little bit indecisive there, losing more distance onto Zaka, and he's going to make it off the main building. He's gone.
And that's the one word I want to pull attention towards: indecisiveness. Nightlight taking 1 second to return back to the basement, then deciding, okay, Zaka is who I want to chase. And he loses the gen, loses the tunnel out, and loses the opportunity to get a trade, but gets a beautiful mind game onto Zaka here. But Zaka having bought so much time. And I want to point out some great communication there from Team Elysium. Pedro HZ was hovering near the basement, and the comm from Noah must have been, he's channeling the teleport, you can pull me. And Pedro HZ did that and got a basement unhook completely for free.
Yep, Nightlight now with those 3 fresh hooks we were talking about, looking to get that 4th onto Pedro HZ. He is immune to the sleep right now with that yellow clock timer. So now he's going to be leaving that, possibly going for a Dream Pellet hit, but that Survivor is immune to Freddy's abilities right now. Unhook in onto Zaka now, and that is the 4th fresh hook. Pedro HZ now in chase in the gallows area, not strong against Freddy. First snare going to correct, increasing the sleep timer there as Pedro HZ playing this filler. Nightlight sleeps him up there with a second snare, possibly channeling the teleport now back over towards Doc on the gen.
Doc in chase, he's asleep as well. He gets mind gamed as well, but Nightlight with a bit of an ambitious swing. Bit too early. We do not vault here either. What a weird interaction on this window, but in the end Doc gets the tag, is asleep, and Nightlight is trying to follow up. We do have a Dream Palette on this tile, so we're able to zone the Survivor, but Nightlight showing a bit of weakness here, unfortunately not getting the zone onto Doc, who makes it back to the main building. The 4th generator pops. Pedro HZ here for the hit tank for his teammate Doc. Nightlight takes the tag, and we might want to commit onto the 4th fresh hook here, but do we have the time? Nightlight decides Doc is still the better chase because he's stuck on main. I also need to kick this generator. What is happening in the distance? I know Noah and Zaka stacking. I just need to leave, and he makes the right call, finds the injured Zaka. This down needs to happen fast. Can we read? No, we cannot. The land ping coming into play one more time, and Nightlight is struggling. Elysium is making him work so hard for this.
And remember, Nightlight doesn't necessarily need 4 fresh hooks, as the win condition is 6 stages, 2 fresh from Team Elysium. That's going to be Doc caught on the backside of the main building, hindered up. No dead hard in this set, and Doc goes down on the toilet pallet behind the main building. This is going to be Nightlight's 4th hook there, inching closer and closer to that win condition, and this is the Survivor that was in basement, so no pain resonance had been used until now. That much more regression gained for Nightlight, as Noah now in chase at the same pallet as before, immune to Freddy's abilities for now, and Nightlight not going to be looking to commit this, as even if that Dream Pallet hit, it wouldn't have done anything.
Great pathing by Noah there, just sending it to the shack window, knowing that it's much safer than the pallet that Nightlight predicted him to play. We see Zaka already woken up, so immune to all of the Nightmare's abilities right now. Pedro HZ on the main building does not get the fast vault here, just has to send it to the toilet pallet and hope that somebody is nearby to take a tag. Great greed on the pallet, but we do not make it around one more time, and we just saw that pain resonance is right here. Is somebody here for the save? Anybody? Nobody is here.
And that's where that pallet save would have needed to come in, because that is the 5th stage with 4 fresh. Any hook stage now from Nightlight is going to be the win for Team Invictus. Still 1 generator left to pop for Team Elysium, and they need to play perfectly from here on out.
And it's tough. We do have 2 injured survivors right now. 2 survivors asleep as well. So Nightlight knows that they can't be resetting right now. Getting a lot of information off of that passive that Freddy does have. Finds Zaka. I think this pallet has... Okay, pre-drops the pallet here. Dodges the snare, super important. 1 more pallet to play. Last generator pops. It was a dream pallet. Zaka goes down. And is this it? Is somebody here? No, nobody is. Nightlight gets his 6th stage on 4 fresh survivors. And Invictus go up 3-0 over Elysium, who have the Joker to rely on.
Nightlight coming in cold to relieve Pedro and putting on a show. Absolutely incredible performance for him on the Nightmare, and Invictus going to take their momentum and continue steamrolling over Team Elysium. 3-0 now, and the way that the Joker set is going to work in this match is not a replay. It's actually going to be that we continue into the 4th set. Team Invictus will be forced to get 4 wins here. That is their penalty for being in the loser's bracket. And that's how the Joker set is going to work a little bit differently this time, guys, as the survivors going to be leaving the trial. Nightlight, I mean, what a star here for Team Invictus, able to just come in on killer after being an important part of the survivor team, giving Pedro that little bit of rest maybe going into this 4th set.
Yeah, we did see a tiny bit of indecisiveness that we had not seen from Nightlight all tournament. In the end, he is able to get the stages, get the result that his team needed, and pushing Invictus to the verge of being crowned LAN champion here. 1 more set between them and the trophy, and we saw such a valiant effort by Team Elysium, right? Chases were going great, they were winning mind games, they had the altruism, but in the end they fell short.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it just came down to, in those most critical moments, Elysium, they didn't have somebody there for the body block or the save. The chases were so much better, but you need to have that other killer, terrified of picking up under a pallet, worried about flashlight saves, second-guessing themselves, and Team Elysium just wasn't there yet with that. But they have been improving. Like we said, the chases were better there. They just need to continue on that path, because it really is do or die now as we move into the 4th set here. But teams requested a break between these next 2 sets, so Emmy and I are going to say goodbye to you guys very quickly, just a few minutes, and we will be back.
Yeah, see you in 5 minutes. gentlemen, and everybody else, we are back to the potential final set of the first ever DBD League LAN. Elysium backs against the wall in the Joker set, fourth set, the Doctor against Team Invictus. And in my opinion, Team Invictus Survivor side against the Doctor is quite good. What do you think, Brian?
I not only have Team Invictus been lights out on Survivor today in general, the Doctor set has been one of their best throughout this entire tournament. I mean, we've been seeing sub-3 stages from almost all of our teams here against the Doctor in one way or another. He's one of those killers that is so M1 heavy that he just becomes exponentially more difficult on that LAN environment. And it's a set that heavily relies on team coordination and body blocking. And what have Emmy and I been hammering on all day? It's the coordination of Team Invictus, their ability to coordinate resets constantly, keeping their gen efficiency up all the while. And I think that's just, Doctor is the set for that.
Yep, and don't get me wrong, I think Zaka is an incredible Doctor player. We saw it versus Team USA. Even after struggling to get a good first chase, the down came through, and then his body blocking was just on point, playing so well and securing, I think, a 4K2 it was versus our USA representatives. So I definitely see why this would be the pick for them to play. Just confidence, something you already played at this environment. And of course, it's a set that is also very popular on ladder, which Zaka has been enjoying greatly lately. But guess who's also enjoying ladder as well as Doctor? It's of course Pedro and Rocket.
Yeah, Pedro and Rocket, some of the best ladder players that we have. And if you guys don't know what we mean by ladder, we're talking, of course, about the Dead by Daylight League 1v1 ladder, which is held in the official DBD League Discord server. It is by far and away the best way to improve at Dead by Daylight on both the killer and survivor side when it comes to your microplay practice in chase. It is like, if you want to start doing 1v1s with your friends, it's like injecting DBD steroids into your veins if you want to get better and more competitive at DBD by yourself at home.
Yep, and the season reset just happened. It's a new season right now, so if you feel like, last time I kinda didn't perform so well, so I dropped off early, now is the time to return, have a fresh start, a clean slate, and I think Elysium need just that when it comes to their mental. Barely scraping by, not getting the win on the Nightmare set that they so desperately needed, right? So going into the Doctor fresh, maybe this 5-minute break was advantageous for them as well, just getting a bit of time to reset, right?
Yeah, and they definitely need that because they're going to be going straight back into the survivor side, which we were just seeing signs of life from them on that Nightmare set, right? Chases were so much better at the beginning. It looked like Nightlight was a little bit indecisive, like Team Elysium was forcing him to panic a little bit in those chases, the way that those survivors were playing, like Noah and Zaka in chase there, and they need to build on that now in the Doctor set. A weaker killer in chase than Freddy even. If you give Pedro a quick down on that Doctor, I think it's over for Team Elysium. That first chase needs to be perfect, and you know what's even more important in this Doctor set than a fast first chase is hook positioning with that shock therapy.
Yep, on Dead Sands out of all maps, one thing to look out for here are totem spawns, because if you get a hook on top of those, if you're able to use your static blast to interrupt the cleansing progress, that is going to be great value for yourself. Ruin has been very popular ever since we switched over to Dead Sands, and of course the balancing against Doctor has been nerfed quite a bit. We have removed Head-On from the pool, which is so sad. Always a perk I love to watch, but yeah, Doctor really needs all the help that he can get, so I'm expecting a couple chase perks brought by Pedro as we are in the trial. We're seeing Save the Best for Last, we're seeing Sloppy Butcher combined with Pain Resonance, Corrupt Intervention, and we're also seeing a killer that's not moving again.
Yep, and Pedro now beginning to move here on the Dead Sands. He's got the Save the Best for Last and the Sloppy Butcher, missing that Rapid Brutality. We talked about that on day one. Do you really want your Bloodlust to be gone on this land environment? And Pedro gonna answer no here, channeling that Static Blast. He's coming in. hitting 2 survivors with that electricity. He's rested from Nightlight's killer performance before, and now immediately into first chase with Zaka on this Jake. Zaka needs to have a strong first chase here. He's gonna continue to play this L palette here. This is just a filler. He needs to find a way to connect this into something else, as Zaka making it back around the palette once again. Pedro faking the shock. This could be an M1, but no, Pedro knows better than that. Zaka playing around this geometry so well, but he's going to take a hit and go towards Shack. 1 stack of Save the Best for Last gained. And this is where the altruism needs to come in for Team Elysium.
Yeah, Shack palette out of the way, so the biggest potential for straight up altruism already dropped by Zaka, so extending the chase on his own. We see triple splitting from the survivor side. Zaka pathing towards the corrupt intervention. Exactly what you need. And if this chase can last longer, that is exactly what Elysium need. Palette already pre-dropped. But this... Oh, Zaka with the pre-vault winning the 50 there. But can he make it around one more time? No, he cannot. Pedro connects the swing. And we needed the altruism. You're just so right, Brian.
Yeah, and I mean, we did need the altruism there, but it's still a decent situation for Team Elysium with the triple split, right? It's not like they doubled out a gen and then lost all of their potential progress there. And Pain Resonance does hit one of the generators, but all it did is equal out the progress between them. They've still got 3 generators with very high progress. Pedro extending a bit away from the hook to put a dry kick on Doc's gen. I think Team Elysium here is going to be content to try to complete these 3 generators before Zaka even needs to be unhooked.
It's great information from the static blast there. Just shocking a survivor into tier 3 so that he can no longer work the generator. Very smart, using the built-in slowdown that the Doctor has available. But Noah, good placement or good movement there, dodging the shocks, rotating for the pulsar right now, not on a generator, wasting a bit of time here. We're going to see 3 generators completed, as he called it. I would love for Pedro to look back at the hook, see if this is body blockable, tries to get a bit more madness onto Doc, realize the generator
and Noah's
is so
on gen.
high. Noah back on the gen. This means we're going to stage 2.
Very interesting choice there for Team Elysium. I don't know if I like this play. It's very risky from them, as what's gone wrong in the previous Doctor sets is when somebody goes to second stage and then potentially dies at a high amount of generators. So Pedro HZ and Noah immediately starting new gens. Noah now in chase at this double pallet, able to get the drop there on the first pallet, and looks like Doc and Pedro HZ still working on generators. Zaka sitting on the hook in second stage, and I mean, with first chase into letting him go second, all of the pressure is being put on Zaka here. Elysium is putting the full burden on Zaka.
Oh, they're stacking the generator here. Pedro, does he think he needs to commit? Noah can make the rotation to unhook Zaka anytime now. He chooses to stay on the generator though, so we're sending Pedro HZ for the pull instead. I would have liked for Doc to be the person who pulls, because he's the obsession of pulls, and he is in tier 3. He can't really do anything else right now. Second interrupt there, M1 as well. Do we get the trade here? What is happening? Pedro HZ does not get it. I don't know. I think he cancelled the unhook ones.
No, the residual effect of the shock therapy was still on him after the Save the Best for Last cooldown came through, and Pedro HZ... I'm not sure what happened there. I mean, I think you're right. The shock therapy disappears when you get hit. As Zaka is going to die on hook at 2 gens remaining, and it remains to be said, they needed to send 2 people for that.
Whatever happened here, it is a disaster for Team Elysium. Noah now in chase with Pedro, who has 4 stacks of Save the Best for Last. We get a free hook onto Pedro HZ as well. Good pathing coming through by Noah, but can it be enough? The shock finally lands. We get another tag, and with 5 stacks of Save the Best for Last to kick onto the generator, this map is Pedro's to play. Can return to the hook, play for the tunnel out onto Pedro HZ. He wants to get a 4K yet again, and this mishap at the hook is exactly what he needed to make it happen. Pedro is just putting up such crazy killer results here on the low ping, on the land, on every opponent's own pick.
Yeah, and now Pedro, he's in his generator setup here. He got the info from the static blast onto both Noah and Doc, resetting out of the gens, and now he knows he can take this chase on Pedro HZ. Stuck at a filler pallet here. Aura on him there from Eyes of Belmont and Inner Focus, working in tandem to increase the aura reading. Pedro HZ, what a read there on the killer, able to make a ton of distance away, and here comes Altruism from Doc. Team Elysium not out of this just yet, and it looks like Pedro has left in favor of chasing Noah, possibly thinking that he needs to get fresh hooks here, as even though Zaka died so quickly on hook, there was still so much gen efficiency from Team Elysium.
This is the dreaded double pallet, and somehow Pedro just hits those. How does that connect on 12 MS? This is going to be another pain res, another stack of save the best for last, and this is not what Noah expected to happen at all. Usually the double pallet setup so hard for the Doctor to outplay, but Pedro somehow makes it happen. Incredible. Stops the generator from completion yet again, and I don't know what Elysium can do. They did have a lot of proc on the map, but with these unfortunate mishaps on the survivor side happening again and again, just as things are looking up, just as Pedro HZ has an incredible scent with the Eyes of Belmont, it's just so unfortunate for them.
Pedro HZ now forced to snap out of it in the corner of the map. Noah going to be unhooked by Doc, and now, I mean, Pedro, he's in a little bit of a dangerous position. He's got two generators that he knows have significant progress. They're a little bit far away from each other. He needs to potentially find this last pain res onto Doc. Is he willing to give up those save the best for last stacks in exchange for the gen regression? Doc wins that mind game on the first pallet, able to vault again, but he should be giving over a hit here, as that's going to be -2 stacks, but this double pallet eventually needs to be kicked, as Pedro, he's forced to leave, doesn't want to take the kick on the double pallet, as Noah, 75% on the generator, as Pedro walks back into the map, looking for info with this static blast. What he finds here is going to be critical to injured survivors, Emmy.
And I feel like every other killer player at the LAN would have just committed Doc there, the fresh hook, be happy with the result. But Pedro is hungry for blood. He wants the 4K against Elysium. He wants to bring it home for Team Invictus. And he has Pedro HZ in his eyes. Still has this pallet, but I don't think he makes it. Noah has to generate at 95% now. I think it's going to pop. But in the end game, with everybody injured, Pedro can still make something happen. Leaves towards the generator. It's going to pop in his face. Doc is not in tier 3, which means he can pick up Pedro HZ. Noah, same amount of stages as Pedro HZ right now. So we need this down fast to 4K.
Noah must survive here at this jungle gym. He's going to lose the mind game there. Pedro with the down once again. 6 stacks of save the best for last now. And it looks like he is going to take the pickup on to Noah, confirming yet another stage. Missed out on that fresh hook with Doc. But it looks like survivors are pathing away from the doors here potentially, Emmy. What is Team Elysium planning here in the endgame?
We do see, I think, at least one light on that exit gate, but it is not enough. And if you're Pedro, of course, you want to find Doc right now, but that means that you are letting Pedro HZ open the gate for 3.
And Pedro HZ able to finish the gen as Doc gets found going for the unhook on the rotation. This is devastating for Team Elysium, as Pedro just needs to win one mind game on this half-broken double pallet. Back and forth here on the map terrain, gets hit with the shock therapy, and Doc won't be lasting much longer as the down comes in onto the 4th fresh hook for Pedro. He's confirming as many stages as he can here for Team Invictus. Pain resonance not going to matter, and it looks like Pedro wants basement here.
Pedro is playing out of his mind at the LAN. Noah is also one static blast away from being put into tier 3, which means that it's going to be so impossible for the survivors to reset. We see Pedro HZ snapping out. We see the last couple seconds of Sloppy Butcher still in play. Can this reset happen? Because we need to pull Doc. Otherwise, this is just way too many stages for a Doctor set.
It really is way too many stages for a Doctor set, and they're going to leave. I mean, 9 stages for fresh for Pedro, picking up right where he left off before he passed the torch to Nightlight. Pedro continuing to dominate in the LAN.
He's just so good. Like, what can you do? He somehow outplays the double pallet, getting a ridiculous hit onto Noah there. And yeah, the mishap on the unhook, I don't think that the amount of stacks that Save the Best for Last had at that point was enough to get the 2-tap. I think it must have been an unhook cancel. So Pedro HZ, super unfortunate there. Could have been avoided had we just sent 2 people, played it safe, but we were pushing for gen progress, trying to outpace the killer player, and it backfired horribly for Elysium.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's very difficult for us to tell exactly why that unhook went wrong on the caster side, but the main point stands. Team Elysium needed to send a double save there. We've seen time and time again in these doctor sets where they go wrong is when unhook stuns happen with the shock therapy, something gets body blocked, and somebody dies on hook prematurely. That needed to be planned for on Team Elysium's side, and as a result, everything is going to fall on Zaka here.
Do you think he can make it happen again? 4K2 against Team USA. Is it going to happen against Invictus?
I think if anybody's going to do it here, it's going to be Zaka for Team Elysium. I mean, he's picking up the Doctor, one of the most intense close-range chase killers we have, one of the most difficult to consistently win with killers in competitive. He's super simple to pick up, a great killer for new players, right? But his depth just becomes exponential in competitive environments with the shock therapy delay, with preloading vaults and trying to win those mind games. I mean, even we see mind games, people going back and forth while they're channeling the shock therapy, and it gets even deeper when the ping is low, as we see Pedro's stats here on the Doctor, 9.3 average hook stages on a killer that we usually expect to be multiple outs. Pedro is just on fire this weekend.
Absolutely ridiculous statistic there for Pedro, one of the best M1 killer players in the game, but so is Zaka, and Zaka did it before. Hopefully he can do it again to push us to the 5th set here. I want to see more, and I don't want to say goodbye to Elysium just yet. I always want to go all the way in the finals, but right now it is looking so one-sided. Momentum has been on Invictus' side ever since they dropped down into the losers bracket. They've not dropped a set, they've not tied a set, and they're not planning to do so right now. They want to do the clean lower bracket sweeps all the way to grand finals.
And Team Invictus, we talk about them all the time as a team who thrives in the losers bracket, but it's mirrored in-game as well. The classic Eternal 3v1, right? Eternal is the team that Invictus used to be, and it's always been known that these guys get a second wind when they lose a player to a tunnel out, and it's almost like they become stronger in the 3v1. Like the killer, you get a tunnel out, you think you're safe, that you can spend a little bit more time on your chases, but these guys always come back. They always have one more gen than you think they do, and that's been serving them so well today. So in the end, Zaka gonna have to put the team on his back one more time, trying to keep Elysium alive in the LAN.
And it's so rough to put that much pressure onto one player, right? It is almost impossible. The expectations, the result that he needs to get here, and I can't wait to see him make it happen. But we're talking about the Eternal 3v1. Maybe with this LAN, we need to introduce a new term, the Invictus 4v1, where you get your tunnel out to stage 2, and then they just refuse to die. Because that's what's been happening in so many sets here at the LAN.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Doctor is a set that has been seen in as well. We saw it in the Unknown. We've seen it in other killer sets, even like Blight this time. It's been so incredible, the Survivor performances that we've been seeing in the LAN so far. And I'm curious to see what kind of build Zaka is going to go for. Will it be the totems? I think that's kind of a high roll thing that will definitely have a chance of getting him those stages that he needs, or is he going to go for the tried and true Sloppy Butcher and Save combo?
I think against Team USA he brought Undying Ruin and they got cleansed first chase, so that's the totem build special, right? So I really like Pedro's build. I think Sloppy Butcher is always guaranteed value against Doctor, and if you pair it with Save the Best for Last, even if you're resetting the Obsession, you're always buying more time, so really good decision. And Zaka bringing rapid brutality, no save at all, so doesn't care who he's chasing. Ruin, Sloppy Butcher, don't look at the HUD. Rocket already found the Ruin. Zaka gets the shock. I like that we're not bringing Corrupt Intervention because we want pressure early, and we're pre-dropping early as well. The comp drop from Team Invictus' Survivor side, and Rocket first chase.
Yep, first chase for Rocket at this double pallet here. It's a relatively strong area, but the shock therapy does give him the potential to get a hit. Zaka forced to break that first pallet as Rocket playing it very safely. Now back around the side of the rock. Forced to play the short side now of this half double pallet. In danger of giving a hit is Rocket as Zaka back around the side once again. Gets hit by that shock therapy. A little bit of a mind game from Zaka, and this should result in a hit. Great movement from Zaka so far. He doesn't have that save the best for last, so it doesn't matter that Rocket's the obsession.
Yeah, but making it to the shack, we're going to need some altruism here. Rocket with the pathing, going a window side, of course, not vaulting, not dropping. Is somebody here to drop the pallet for the teammate? Yes, but Pedro gets caught by the shock therapy himself. Drops the shack for his teammate still, but still extends the chase. Of course, does not get the stun, so not the perfect play here, but again, extending the chase so important. Rocket now on the double pallet gym, drops the first one, holds the check spot, and this is so awkward to play, because if you have the distance to drop one of the two pallets, it becomes so hard for the Doctor to play. Second drop comes through as well, and Rocket is buying so much time here for his team, not panic vaulting either, and just holding distance, forcing Zaka to break.
Yeah, forcing Zaka to break here is so important for Rocket as the first gen pops in the distance. Rocket using this geometry, it's not even a pallet so far. He's able to path back into the pallet as well, and he's out of line of sight, going back towards the non-pallet area. Baits a swing even. Rocket, are you kidding me here in this first chase? Misses the shock therapy once again, but Rocket finally going to be going down here on the edge map, and Team Invictus looking like they want to put the nails in the coffin here for Elysium.
Dan has so much progress on his generator, and Zaka does not expect it. He does not expect this much progress to be on the map and chooses to not go for the pain resonance. Maybe saving it for later, trying to get it to the 3v1, but that is a little bit questionable for me here. You can never underestimate the gen progress that Team Invictus are putting on the table, and that pain resonance would have gotten full value. Zaka now wants to hopefully have the same thing happen that Invictus had to happen, where, you know, unfortunately we mess up the pull and Rocket somehow dies on the hook. But I don't think it's gonna happen, and Nightlight is just working a gen off in the distance. Pedro's location is still unknown, so I'm assuming he's also on a generator. Zaka does not really have the time to camp here. He tries to put Dan into tier 3, does not quite have the time to commit to enough shocks. We see the scratch marks nearby, a survivor rotating for the pull, and time is running out for Zaka.
Yep, Zaka looking like he wants to camp Rocket to death here. Possibly just the second stage though, but it's dangerous here. He doesn't have good information on how progressed the gens are in this situation. We were just talking about before, Team Invictus always seems to have one more gen than you think, as he sees Nightlight healthy over here with a gen 50%. Rocket goes to second stage. Team Invictus knows they have so much time to play with here. They actually pull him right after the second stage. I'm not really so sure about that play.
They want to keep the pressure high, they want to keep Zaka away from the generators, and they want him to commit to this chase. We do have Dan, who is healthy, playing for the tunnel out here. Rapid Brutality in play, giving us 5% of haste. And Invictus are making the call that this should be enough to pop the last two generators. And we haven't seen Pedro in so long, so we know that he's working a generator. Dan playing altruistically, taking the down here. Zaka will want to commit. Remember, he still has the pain resonance onto Rocket if he can get this down. But Rocket with some unique pathing sends it all the way back to the ornament tile. So much distance onto Zaka, and he's too afraid of the last generator popping. Great call, because we saw Nightlight and Pedro stacking. Nightlight in tier 3 now, but Pedro could still pop it. He's here for the tunnel out or the pickup as well, and Nightlight needs to snap out. Great macro play by Zaka, somehow keeping track of every survivor.
This could be your final chase, Zaka, as Nightlight snapping out of tier 3 near the 90% generator in that little dip in the ground. Rocket back around the side of the ornament tile here. Any second now the final generator will be done. Invictus, what is this efficiency? The final generator is done. Pedro picked up, but Zaka needs so much to get to this 10-stage win condition. Invictus just needs to get themselves over the finish line, opening one of these doors, get any amount of survivors out the door here with stages on them, and they will be the winners of this LAN. Now Rocket in chase at this cross tile once again. Rocket has been so incredible this game.
And He's just using the map structures to his advantage. Has this pallet, doesn't drop it. Good pathing. Can Zaka get the down yet? Even if he can, is it going to be enough? Because we know the exit gate is open. And Rocket is the least status. He does go down and it doesn't matter. Invictus are out of the door. And Invictus are your DBD League LAN Grand Champions.
What a team. Team Invictus in a dominating fashion, taking it 4-0 over Team Elysium. Just incredible play from them all day. Rocket taking it home on the Survivor as well. What a way to cap it off for these guys. Let's give it up for Team Invictus, everybody.
Yeah, you better give them a super loud cheer for your LAN champions. And if you have the time, take a look at the bracket, right? They dropped to the losers bracket. They've not lost a single set ever since. They won it all. And all the credit goes to Team Invictus. What an incredible performance. Hats off.
Yep, Team Invictus here taking a victory lap on the stage, and it's been such an amazing tournament, right, Emmy? We saw a full sweep here in the finals, but every match was so fun. It was close at the end, and I couldn't be happier with how this turned out.
It was such an amazing time being here, getting to cast, getting to cheer on the teams. Even though Elysium did not win today, unfortunately, it is another cast occurs by Emmy. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I think Invictus dropping into the lower bracket was just what was needed to get full control over the gameplay, to get comfortable with the setting, and to truly prepare themselves to the perfect amount, right? They did so well, and they deserve all the credit. And we talked about the MVP talk right before this, right? Now we've seen the full match play out between Invictus and Elysium. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's finally our time on the staff to do full deliberations about this MVP talk. I have what I think would be my roster, but I think it's time for us to go over to a little bit of a break here as we set up the award segment. All of us staff who've been following competitive DBD for such a long time now, we've all got our opinions, so we need to come to a conclusion here as who is going to be the full tournament MVP, MVP Survivor, and MVP Killer. So we're going to go over to a very short break here, guys, while we come to a conclusion, and we'll see you very soon.
everybody. We have our winners for the DBD League LAN 2026. Everybody again, give it up for Team Invictus. Phenomenal performance. Even from the start where they lost the first one by a hair, they come back, they battle back, and they win definitively here in the finals. And we couldn't be happier to be presenting you guys as our first ever LAN champions. Before we do that, though, we have some special awards. We are going to be naming a couple special awards. First up, we have the best survivor from the tournament. It was very hard to deliberate. I gave my opinion. I said, it's this person or that person or that person, so I helped not at all. But in the end, we feel like the most impactful survivor was Rocket. Congratulations, Rocket. Congratulations, well played. All it takes is a couple dead hards, and I'm like, Rocket. Or Nightlight. Or, anyways. No, Rocket. Congratulations. All right. This one's, guys, this is not going to be as hard, okay? Best killer of the tournament. We did deliberate, but we had to say Pedro, best killer of the tournament. Well deserved, well deserved.
Moshi
Well deserved.
moshi.
Nightlight, you cooked as well. Well deserved. This is so hard because, like, I'm already, like, I know that the different ones I went with. And finally, our tournament MVP. So when it comes to competitive Dead by Daylight, what do we see? We see that head-on play. We see that dead hard. We see all these great plays by individual players. But at the end of the day, there is usually one person behind the scenes, one person calling out, we need a hit tank. Those hit tanks happen because of a strong leadership and communication. MVP of the tournament goes to Dan. And with that, we would love to present Team Invictus with the championship medals and trophies for DBD League's 2026 LAN, first of hopefully many. Yeah. Let's hear it for our team, guys. Team captain. We just did team captain, so. Now, I want to spend a little bit of time, again, congratulations to everybody. I want to spend a little bit of time talking to our players here. So, Nightlight, by the way, like, as we're doing this, I'm like, I feel like we're shafting Nightlight, because it's not like, I definitely was like, dude is on fire. You had some amazing chases, some great teamwork. I personally like today's plague game, where you were walking just long enough to tank the hit without getting infected, and then also not getting one-tapped right after that because you got spit on. So there was definitely some incredible plays there. Is there anything that stands out to you in the entire tournament where, I don't know, it was a key moment, or you thought you guys really locked in, or you were maybe worried you weren't going to take it and then, you know, fall through?
The Oniset versus Praxis at the first match was definitely like one where I thought that we are going to have it 100% because of the end game, like Obi Pop power in a pretty like risky way, but then he found Rocket somehow on the edge map, so that definitely was the one impactful thing from the tournament that I remember the most.
It was interesting. We were talking at the break. We were talking about that 5-gen. I'm talking about Plague again, but it was Plague, right? Yeah. We're talking about that 5-gen, and it's really interesting. We were talking about how it almost works against you because the survivors know exactly where to die. So, like, you guys saw that. I'm saying this, but I'm like, I just want you to confirm. Like, you're like, that's cool. We like that. We appreciate it. Let's go break a 5-gen, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely easier for you to like play with a 5-gen because you can just die on the side where a 2-gen spawn. So you just know where to die the whole time. Plague also cannot one-shot you unless you are fully infected, so it is pretty simple to just go to the other side and just always die there. So we had a pretty difficult time there, 100%.
Is there anything else that stands out to you? First time, this isn't your first ever LAN, correct?
It is.
This is your first ever LAN. I don't know who has done what. Any specific highlight? The number one point?
I mean, it was very fun meeting my team for the first time. And I think we played very well in the loser bracket especially. And yeah, we showed why we are a #1 team.
Fantastic. That's amazing. Thank you very much, Nightlight. Moving along to, again, just the heavy lifter, not just great Survivor games, of course, but the killer of the day. Looking back at the entire tournament, what would you say is your favorite moment or your maybe the sort of best play you made on Killer, Pedro? Sorry to put you on the spot.
It's hard to think about. Not trying to be egotistical, I feel like I played very well throughout most of the tournament. Probably Cenobite, the 4K one against Praxis. I don't usually perform the best on that killer, and so I was pretty proud of the result I got and for beating the WinCon. Yeah, I'd say that's the one.
You actually, that's a really good.
Also, the mastermind flick he did on Jungle Gym onto it was actually game-winning stuff.
Pedro's too humble. We have to hear it from the teammates. So I lost my train of thought. No, I literally lost my train of thought. That's a great answer, though. Oh, I got it now. I remember where I was going with that. Sorry. You did wind up taking several sets, like where it was the other team's pick. That's gotta feel pretty good, knowing that they pick Blade against you and then you crush them, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, not only once, twice. We ended up losing the first matchup, but yeah, we won both flight sets. Felt pretty good. So yeah, after that match, we won every other set. We didn't drop a set. We just tied against X9 one of the sets. So yeah, definitely feels pretty good.
Amazing. Same question. Anything that stands out from the entire event that really is like the MVP for you? Like not MVP, but like the best moment kind of thing.
I think honestly, just meeting my team, the rest of the players, everyone else, the viewers. It's really just the whole experience. Really fun.
I think everybody in this room agrees with that. I think it's very clear. Thank you very much and congratulations, Pedro. And then Dan the Man, again, it's the intangibles that we don't see. You see all these great teamwork plays, and you don't know that it's like the call-outs, the great call-outs. Obviously, it helps having teammates who are so, they're already ready to do what's going in. But are there any particular times when you felt like the comms were really clean, or that you made a really, really strong call that led to maybe averted disaster when things were maybe not going great, or something along those lines?
I just think throughout the whole LAN, my team felt very synergized. I don't know how, because we didn't really practice much before this. But I don't know, I feel like playing together, all like in the same place, made us play, I don't know, stronger. We had really good synergy throughout the games. Also, having low ping helped a lot, but I mean, you know what I mean? Like everyone together, everyone like happy and stuff, and winning, except the first time, But it's okay. I mean, I'm just very proud of the whole team, like how we perform together. And like, it's not only me doing the calls. I incentivize them a lot to think for themselves and like ask questions and like do stuff as well, Because I cannot see the whole game through the 4 monitors. Here I could, but usually I cannot.
Yeah.
And so basically, yeah, I'm just really proud of the boys, how they played. It was very good, very fun to play with.
I mean, that's like a leader right there. It's like, what was your best moment? It's like, my team was my best moment. Absolutely agree with that. What about you? Any highlight from the weekend? And you can keep saying meeting everybody, because I think that it can't be said enough. But is there anything else that particularly stands out for you from the LAN?
Playing on 12 MS was an experience, bro. I'm going to move to Germany. What is this, bro? This is fucking cheating, bro. This is cheating. I'm not joking.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Also meeting everyone was insane. Like, a shout out to Americans as well, bro. These guys are actually cool as fuck. I didn't talk with them much, but they're actually very cool people.
Yeah.
And everyone is very fun and very cool. I didn't expect this, but I don't think there's any person that I don't really like. I think everyone's cool.
What's your home ping?
My home ping is like 70, bro.
Yeah, me too. It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal.
Speeds, whatever happened on 3 doesn't happen. What matters is like, this is here, okay? This is here. Also, Anna, you see, I told you, I'm winning this, bro.
Let's hear that. That's amazing. Well, thank you, Dan. Fantastic job, both of you and the team. And then, I should probably cross over here. I'm going to cross over here. And then we got Rocket. Rocket, phenomenal plays. Again, like, I still laugh at the fact I'm like, did you get caught out? No, I was baiting the dead hard. I got this, no worries. 12 MS, let's go. No, like, there were some really notable plays. You hit a dead hard today that I didn't even notice because it was around a rock, and I'm like, he's in deep wounds. Oh, he pressed E, what the heck? Were there any moments like that that maybe stand out that I haven't mentioned?
Okay, I mean, probably the chase on Doctor. I mean, honestly, I think I did really good. Three-gen chase. I even said Pedro HZ, if they pick Doctor after it was Doctor on the game, I would be doing three-gen chase, so I actually delivered. I mean, I'm just very confident on Doctor. It's my favorite killer, so yeah, probably that.
Fantastic, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, no, so I mean, just really solid throughout. And again, I got to ask, you know, I mean, I interviewed you like yesterday, and you kind of mentioned how like I was marveling at how wholesome Rocket was, because it was just like, every team is great. I love you all. You're fantastic. I got to imagine it's the meeting everybody. Is there anything else that stands out, or any particular meet or moment that really you're going to take with you on the road?
Probably taking photos with fans. I mean, it's probably one of my favorite things. Just to see, you know, their faces. I don't usually see them. I only see them on Twitch chats, or you know. So just asking them what's their name, and then say, "Oh, you were that person." It's really cool. I mean, that's probably my favorite thing. And just meeting everyone that you know played. I mean, I respect everyone generally for the you know actually putting up work and stuff. I respect that. I respect that generally.
Absolutely fantastic. Well, again, everybody, let's give it up for your champions, Team Invictus. You guys can go and celebrate and mingle with all your lovely fans while we close this out. Thank you so much again. Appreciate you guys. You guys can go. You're off the hook now. You guys can go shake hands and kiss babies and whatnot. So, all right. Well, with that, I'm so happy and sad at the same time to say that is a wrap on 2026, on the first ever DBD League LAN. I just want to say thank you. I feel like I can't say thank you enough to everybody here, to everybody in Twitch chat, to everybody from all the staff here is amazing. All the staff from Dead by Daylight League who put in tireless hours just to make this work and just to have it go off without a hitch. I've talked to so many of you, and the great things you have said, just how much you've enjoyed the production, and how everything went off mostly without a hitch. I cannot express enough just like how full my heart is to be here and be a part of this, and so thankful you can all be a part of this as well. And hopefully this is the first of many. I want to hear it. Everybody, let's give a big round of applause to all the teams. Let's give a big round of applause to all the staff, everybody in the building, and again, everybody out there in the Twitch chat. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. Big round of applause for everybody here. Let's go. Pat yourselves on the back. This was phenomenal. I'm trying not to be emotional. And genuinely, I am not the spokesperson. I mean, I actually am the spokesperson, but I'm not the one who makes these decisions. So don't get too excited when I say this, but I truly hope this is one of many, and we get to see everybody back here again in the future, whether it's next year or beyond that. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night, Twitch. We will be back in the fall for All Hallows League, and there may be more cups and stuff. I didn't plan this at all. Thank you so much, everybody, and have a fantastic evening.
Charles?
He made a noise when going over. He made a noise when go- ah! Oh my god, no. DVD League! Oh my god, thank you so much for the raid. Oh my god, I was just watching you guys. I was just watching you guys. Welcome in. Oh, so why is... I'm in first chase. Why is someone throwing Jack? Thank you so much for the raid! Oh my god, congratulations. The LAN was amazing. I woke up every single morning and the first thing I did... What's going on? The first thing I did was throw on the LAN and I've been watching it non-stop. I would have it on my, like without the video, on my car radio when I was driving to the gym. And then when I was at the gym, I would prop up my phone with Twitch on it in my headphones on my water bottle while I was working out at the gym. And then I would put it back on my radio while I was driving again. I have been invested and it was amazing and everyone was so good. Thank you so much for the raid. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you for the follows, guys. I appreciate that. I hope you all had a wonderful time. If you don't know me, my name is Heather. I'm a DVD streamer. I also cast for DVD League occasionally. I'm trying to do more of it, but I've been really busy. And I also play comp in Team Pandemonium, although it doesn't look like it sometimes when I'm playing. Oh, shit. See, I told you. Told you it doesn't look like it. Hi, everyone. Welcome in. Oh. I'm trying to do my 100% achievements right now, which is why we're kind of got a silly build on, but yeah. Thank you for the follows. I love your follow alert. Exclamation mark context if you want to know where the context comes from of my follow alert. But yeah. Oh, I've missed a skill check because I tabbed out. My bad. Thank you for the follows, guys. I do appreciate it. Thank you. I'm also part of the DVD creator program as well. I'm trying to like think of everything that I'm about right now. But thank you so much. Congratulations to Invictus and to all the teams who played, and also W staff, W mods, W casters, W hosts. That was fucking great. I really hope that we get another LAN. I'm really sad I couldn't go, but I really, really, really hope that we get another one. I can't lie. Is he tunneling me? Thoughts? I really hope we get another one. I hope I actually get to go to it next time. Are you playing Gauntlet with them today? No, I am kind of currently like injured with my wrist, so I can't play in comp really. I mean, I'd love to, but yeah. So, but I'll be watching. I'll be there. What time is it? I'm probably going to be in the Discord. I'm just like watching. Oh. Oh, does he have Lightborn or did that just not connect? Thank you, Spider. The only person who knows me more than I do is you. Yes, I'm a spirit main also. I'm better than Zaka, trust me. Zaka actually learned from me, in case anyone was wondering. Okay. Almost forgot. Yo, what is it? Oh my god. It's me. Oh, he wants me. Has he used this little thing yet? Oh. Oh. I can't see anything with this filter, to be honest. I'm dead and edge. Actually, I have this. Oh, he went that way. He cut me off. Unfortunate. We're just dead at 3. The filter does look good, but I mean, I don't know. Dredge in general is, I mean, maybe I should turn my gamma up when I'm playing against Dredge, to be honest. Well, we didn't get the achievement. We're trying to do the achievement, so yeah. This is a really good filter for this round, but yeah. Yeah, okay, we'll have to do the next. We'll have to do another Survivor game, and then we're gonna have to go do our nurse achievement, I think. Do I still have cross off on actually? I might be on cross off. That might be why. Wait, I can't tell. Why is it not letting me... Can you guys see that? It's like not letting me change it. Do I have to be in the menu? Is that why? Oh yeah, we were on cross off. Oh wait, no we weren't. I don't know. I don't think crossplay was on. I don't know. Oh. No. Survivor. Okay, we're gonna do it again. Don't worry. We need to go edge map and just do the palette thing. But the thing is, he just went straight to me when I was trying to do it at the edge map at the beginning of that game. So yeah. This is Twilight game right now. Song even. Meow 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 meow. Yeah. Okay, we're good. We've got cross on now at least. Let's change my thingy. We just need to get this one achievement, and then we've got only nurse left, guys. Look, we've got this one, and then nurse, and then we've completed DBD, guys. Technically, with 50 minutes left to go too. 50 minutes left to go. It's the last day, I have to say. It's giving that vibe. We can't stay on 2 hours forever. Wow, everyone's greedy, 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 including me. The killer brought a cake. This is quite sad for them. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. I really want to watch Twilight again, guys. Hi, Icy Man, welcome in. How's it going? Ooh. Right, we're gonna go edge map. We're gonna wait till someone goes in a chase, and then I'm gonna do the palette thing. It was content, Icy. I enjoyed watching it so much. Literally, I couldn't turn it off. All of my responsibilities this weekend went out the window. All of my responsibilities went way out the window. I know, do you know what's crazy? It's because, like, Alicia were giving belt the whole tournament, and then it got to the end and they just didn't win a single game. And I'm just like, what? How did this happen? How did this bloody happen? But I don't feel like it is Invict Prime, because Invictus didn't even get to the finals of season 10. Was it season 10 or season 11? Sorry. Can't really remember. Is that killer AFK? Season 11? Yeah. I think season 10 was the one that I was casting in, so it can't have been that one. But season 11, I don't think they even got to the final. But then they brought it back. AFK killer right now would be so big, I know, right? Because I could just sit at my palette and get my achievement. Ready? Well, we'll just do Shaq, because why not? Oh no, maybe he's here now. Who is it? We still don't know. I'm not sure. Hi, Stat, welcome in. How you doing? I can't wait to get my nails done tomorrow, guys. Then I'll be able to moonwalk again. My nails are too long. Ugh, Legion? Ugh. Ew.
Heather Lara TV. And it was a fucking Twitch thought as well.
Oh shit.
Fuck me, dude.
I didn't think he was coming. Don't go for me. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I know I can't moonwalk right now because my nails are too long. But tomorrow. I might be late to stream tomorrow a little bit. Because I don't know how long my nails will take. Nia flashbacks? Oh yeah, on this map. Haley's just so much me too. I'm good, thank you, do snap. I'm chilling. Right, one more time. And then we have to do it one more time. And then we're gonna go play fucking nurse, guys. I do need to do a Nia cosplay. Da 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 da. Did I make tea? Obviously. I think there's a point in healing. It's Legion. Guys, you need to help me pick what book I'm going to read next, because I think I'm actually going to DNF Hunger Games. I literally read like 2 pages, and I'm like, I'm going to bed. Okay, Loki, I'm going to throw pallet again, just so I can get the achievement. There we go. We got it. Okay, now we can go play nurse. We have to get the triple blink grab off a Jen. I need you guys to help me with a build and add-ons that are going to help me do that. I think I'd have to, like, blink back, wouldn't I? Hi, Tainted. I like all books. I like crime. I like romance. I'm kind of yearning for a romance book just because, like, I don't know. I just am. But sometimes I like fantasy also. I like non-fiction. Space. Hi, Bunny. Welcome in. How you doing? I don't know. I like a lot of books. Nami, you'll have to help me with a build then. I actually think I have the love hypothesis, Loopy, but it gives me the vibe of like TikTok book. Oh, look at this 3-gen. It gives me vibe of like TikTok book, and I feel like it's gonna be pants. Like, I really don't think I'm gonna like it. And going into a book with that kind of mindset is already bad. But I think I'm going into every book with that kind of mindset because I've been in like a phase that every book I've been reading has been kind of dog shit. So now I'm just like looking at every book like, I'm not gonna enjoy that. And also bear in mind, reading is the only thing I've been able to do while my wrist has been injured. So I'm kind of like read it out. Like, I've read a lot. It's all I've been doing actually when I'm not streaming. Oh, I was hoping I could make her miss that, but no, I haven't, Sean, but I really want to. I've been meaning to try and watch Supernatural because I've heard good things. Was the movie good, Loopy, or is it not out yet? VTuber Emily Henry, because it's cozy set a small town by a lake. A lot of people have recommended that too. But again, TikTok book, you know. I was thinking about Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil or Fruit Fly. And I went to the store the other day. I went to a bookstore and they had Fruit Fly. And it was a signed copy and I really, really wanted to get it. But then I was like, I've spent too much money on books. And then I regretted it. So I went back yesterday and it had sold out. But they did have a copy of Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, and it had like, are you fucking kidding? It had the black painted pages, and I really wanted to get it, but again, I didn't. Oh, it's out in September. I see. Need the area. Yeah. I need to, well, we have to get in a queue, I guess, for nurse. Twisted Disney era. I've never heard of a Twisted Disney era. Oh. I don't know. And the thing is, I have loads of books to read. I just can't, like, come up with one that I really want to read. What are we doing? But all the ones that I do want to read, I was thinking about reading I Who Have Never Known Men. It's about these women that, like, their whole life they've been, like, trapped in cages. underground, I think, by men. It's actually from like 1995, but it had like a reprint in like 2018 or 19, I think. What is the ping? Oh, shocker. The rebutton Legion. And so yeah, it's been kind of making the rounds, so I really want to get that. And I actually did buy it on Kindle yesterday, but then I realized I probably want to annotate it because I know it's going to be the kind of book that pisses me off. And I'm going to want to annotate it, so I refunded it, and I want to wait until I can get the physical book. So yeah. Hi Luminous, yeah, I know I've been wanting to read that for sure, but I've been trying to get through my books that I'm currently reading already. But I can't lie, Throne of Glass was not doing it for me. And Hunger Games is not doing it for me either. Not the biggest fan. I would only, Newton, I would only cast on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, because obviously I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But I haven't been casting much recently. Oh my god, that was her down there as well. I just spun her final down thing. I haven't cast for them recently because I've been really, really busy, but yeah. Hi Scarlett. Demon hunting's going good. We only have one more to do now. What's the Caravel series? What's that about? Oh, that's cool, Demuli. I don't think I would read anything about Disney though. Should I read more? I don't have the attention span for it. Yeah, I would say audiobooks. I'm not great with audiobooks though. I definitely prefer to sit down and read. I don't think I can focus on audiobooks. Were you casting in season 11? Right. Hi Tesco, welcome in Pookie, how are you? We're kind of flopping. True Spino, maybe I should do that with Hunger Games. But then I would rather be listening to music than a Hunger Games book. Or I'd rather just watch the movies. Everyone says the books are better than the movies, but I low-key don't agree so far. Wait, that's actually cool, Loopy. That sounds really interesting. Where are you coming from? Where was that hook? I'm gonna have to bait. Actually, I don't think I do have to bait it. She won't make it here. Nice. I see, Newton. Yeah, I don't think I watched much season 11 because I was really busy. I watched the finals though. Haven't played Zelda yet? You mean today? You should play Sable Lammy. Always. I don't even think it's worth healing against the Legion, but they want to do it. Nothing's going to stop them. I might as well make it a bit quicker. I know, I believe in you. You got this. I really want to read Yesteryear as well, but I have a feeling Yesteryear is going to be kind of mid. I just don't trust most people's book opinions, like on TikTok. See, this is why I don't really feel like it's worth healing, because now we just wasted all that time, you know, when we could have just been getting gen progress. Oh. Okay, I'll try, Mig, or Miggy. I will try and remember. It's kind of hard, but I will try my best. I'm not healing you. We do not need to heal. This Legion has a 3-gen. Unlucky. Oh, you got your stuffies? Nice. Mine is still on my bed. I use mine as a Kindle stand. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm in the mood for. Books-wise, I can't decide which one. I think the only one I would actually be really interested in reading right now is I Who Have Never Known Men, but it's the one that I don't have, which is like shocker. That always happens. I feel like it might just be like a me problem where I do this all the time. I'm getting a bit cold in my room. We need to all be on like 3 different gens, but I don't know what the team is doing. She's not leaving that. Oh, I fucking hate Legion. Okay. No one's on any gens though. I might just stay on this gen and then continuously go in the portal. I remember the last time I faced a Legion. I'm jealous of you actually, because I feel like I fucking get Legions all the time. Or maybe I just remember them more because I hate them. Go next to that point. I mean, same, but true, Birchie. Why did the terror radius like just disappear? Will not come out, by the way. Like actually refusing. Most boring ass Dead by Daylight game in the world.
Anyway, guys, I'm gonna end the stream for today.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
See you guys next time. 新婚好了，皆さん。拜拜。